Starting lineups just a few moments away here from Hyde Stadium as the 3-6 Sioux Falls Sunfish take on the 3-5 Pierre Trappers. The Trappers and the Sunfish playing their third consecutive game between each other and the second game in a row here from Hyde Stadium after that 5-2 win by the Pierre Trappers yesterday. It's a battle for really fourth place in the Clark division. The Pierre Trappers currently sit at fourth place. The Sioux Falls Sunfish sit at fifth. The Trappers 5 games back on the division leading Fremont Moo, who have won 9 games in a row. The Sunfish half a game back on the Pierre Trappers. They sit at 3-6, 5.5 games back on the division leading Moo. The Sunfish had their 3-game winning streak snapped yesterday against the Pierre Trappers. Meanwhile, the Trappers snapped their 3-game losing streak to start this series against the Sunfish here from Hyde Stadium. We'll take you down the starting lineups just about 15 minutes away here from first pitch. For the Sioux Falls Sunfish, leading things off will be the second baseman, number 24, JT Mix. Batting second will be the center fielder, number 19, Mitch Stroh. Batting third will be the shortstop, number 31, Jonathan Brandon. Batting fourth will be the right fielder, number 7, Zeph Hoffpower. Batting fifth, the third baseman, number 27, Dane Frazier. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 36, Jesus Licone. Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 33, Gannon Thompson. Batting eighth, the first baseman, number 20, Dylan Cricket Danielson. And batting ninth, the catcher, number 3, in Declan Beers. Starting on the mound for the Sioux Falls Sunfish this afternoon will be Angelo Santangelo. He pitched in 1 game and making his first start for the Sunfish tonight in Game 2 of this 3-game set between the Trappers and the Sunfish. Meanwhile, for the Pierre Trappers, a similar lineup to last night with a couple of minor changes. It will start with the leadoff batter at second base, number 14, Tyler Skelton. Batting second, the center fielder, number 6, Eric Mast. Batting third, the designated hitter, number 30, Colin Adams. Batting fourth, the third baseman, number 33, Caden Cardoso. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 35, Nicholas Strong. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 23, Brock Reinhardt. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 21, Jacob Newman. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 16, Bennett Osborne. And batting ninth, the shortstop, number 3, Braden Cordes. Starting on the mound for the Pierre Trappers, making his third start of the season, is number 4 in Nick McCullum, who in 2 games pitched this season for the Pierre Trappers does not have a decision so far, but has pitched in 10 complete innings, allowing 8 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, 11 walks, and 16 strikeouts, is the current strikeout leader for the Pierre Trappers. His last start against the Spearfish Sasquatch went 5 innings, allowed 4 runs. However, all 4 of those runs allowed to the Sasquatch were allowed in the first inning. The Sasquatch scored 3 in the first inning, then 1 in the 5th before chasing McCullum from the ballgame. For the Sunfish, they look to bounce back after they started the season with 5 consecutive losses, had a 3-game winning streak, including a win over the Pierre Trappers to get to where they are currently at 3-5, and then lost here last night at Hyde Stadium to fall to where they are now 3-6, 5th place in the Clark division. An interesting dynamic in the standings in the Expedition League. A lot of streaks around baseball. In the Lewis division, the Mining City Tommyknockers and the Souris Valley Saberdogs tied for top of the division. The Tommyknockers, the expansion team, surprising everybody by being at the top of the Lewis division to this point in the season. At the basement of the Lewis division, 2 losing streaks. The Badlands Big Sticks have lost 6 straight after starting the season 2-2. And the Canyon County Spuds have lost 5 straight after starting the season 1-2. The Big Sticks now sit at 2-8. The Canyon County Spuds sit at 1-7. On the Clark side, the Fremont Moo lead the division with 9 wins and 1 loss. The Spearfish Sasquatch sit right behind them at 7-2, 1.5 games back on the division leading Moo. The Western Nebraska Pioneers sit at 7-3, 2 games back on the Fremont Moo. The Pierre Trappers sit in fourth at 3-5, 5 games back on the leader. The Sioux Falls Sunfish half a game behind the Trappers. They sit at 3-6, 5.5 games back on the top of the division. And then in last place in the Clark division, the Hastings Sodbusters on a 6-game slide sit at 2-8 on the year, 7 games back on the Fremont Moo. The Moo of which started the season with a loss to the Hastings Sodbusters, since then came out with a vengeance, beating every team they've faced in every game they've played them in. They've won 9 straight and look for the series sweep over the Badlands Big Sticks tonight. For the Pierre Trappers, they have a few more names added to their roster. No new names from yesterday, but a big name that stood out was the catcher last night, Colin Adams. He's batting third tonight at the designated hitter position. He went 2 for 3, a walk, a strikeout, but came across the plate twice. He's batting 67 in his one game that he's appeared for the Pierre Trappers. Full rosters announced tonight from Hyde Stadium. Because tonight is a special night here from Hyde Stadium, it is Cancer Survivors Night. Cards are being sold at the front gates to dedicate who you're watching this game towards, and along with every player being introduced for the Pierre Trappers tonight, a message of who they're dedicating this game to, whether that be somebody who's going through cancer in their family, who has survived cancer in their family, or the many of those who have unfortunately lost their lives to cancer, and the many of those who have been touched by stories of cancer survivors. So a solemn night, but a good night to raise some money for charity, as all proceeds from the sold signs to say who you're watching this game for, who you're supporting, all proceeds of that will go to a local charity dedicated to finding a cure for cancer. So it's a full lineup announcement for the Pierre Trappers, as every Trapper gets an opportunity to have their recording played and say who they're dedicating this game for. The Pierre Trappers, additionally, this is a big game for them. Their first 3-game series of the year after the win last night. A win tonight would secure their first series victory of the year after splitting their first 2 and then being swept by the Spearfish Sasquatch on the road in Spearfish. We'll take a short break, let the national anthem get sung, and we'll be right back here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube and Mixlr live streams.
and those who have returned safely. Those in attendance are reminded that proper respect is to remove any headgear and stand at attention with your hand over your heart. Retired military and active duty personnel out of uniform may salute the flag. Tonight's anthem is being sung by Shade and Muller. Oh, say, can you see
Well, the national anthem has been sung, and that means it's time to play ball here from Hyde Stadium. Game 2 of a 3-game set between the Pierre Trappers and the Sioux Falls Sunfish. The Trappers won Game 1 last night over the same Sunfish by a final score of 5-2 in a lot of late inning scoring. In fact, the first run of the ballgame didn't score until the bottom of the 5th when the Trappers struck first. After starting pitcher for the Sioux Falls Sunfish and Griffin Hassel threw 4 no-hit innings against the Pierre Trappers before the Trappers finally struck in the 5th inning to give them a 1-0 lead. The Trappers really never looked back from there, scoring 2 more in the 7th inning to extend their lead to 3-0. The Sunfish would strike in the top of the 8th with 2 runs of their own to cut the deficit to just 1 run, but the Trappers, fighting back, were able to put 2 runs of their own in the bottom half of the 8th inning to extend their lead to 5-2, which is where the lead ended up staying. So we'll take you down the starting lineup one more time for both the defensive lineup for the Pierre Trappers and the starting batting order for the Sioux Falls Sunfish here on Cancer Awareness and Cancer Survivors Night here at Hyde Stadium. Defensively, taking the field for the Pierre Trappers from left to right, it's Osborne, Mast, and Newman in left field, center field, and right field. In the infield, it will be Caden Cardoso at third, Cordes at short, Skelton at second, and Strong at first. The battery for the Pierre Trappers has Nick McCullum on the mound with Brock Reinhardt behind the plate doing the catching. The designated hitter for the Pierre Trappers tonight will be Colin Adams. The batting order one more time for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, taking the 3-hour trip yesterday to get here to Pierre, spending the night last night after their loss to the Trappers. Their batting order for the Sunfish will have Mix, the second baseman, batting first. The center fielder Stroh, the shortstop Brandon, the right fielder Hoffpower, the third baseman Frazier, the designated hitter Licone, the left fielder Thompson, the first baseman Cricket Danielson, and the catcher in Declan Beers. Pitching tonight for the Sioux Falls Sunfish is number 23, Andalo Santangelo. So warming up on the mound for the Pierre Trappers right now is Nick McCullum, the native of Richmond Hill, Georgia, plays his regular season college baseball at Georgia Southwestern, playing for the Canes. McCullum has a couple of teammates on the Pierre Trappers, including his second baseman tonight in Tyler Skelton. McCullum, in 2 appearances, both of them being starts, has acquired a 3.60 ERA. No decisions in both starts, has allowed 8 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, 11 walks, 16 strikeouts. In his last start against the Spearfish Sasquatch, pitched 5 innings, 4 runs, all of them earned, 6 hits, 7 walks, and 4 strikeouts, earning a no decision. That game, the Spearfish Sasquatch ended up walking off the Pierre Trappers in the bottom of the 9th inning. So McCullum will get his 3rd start of the season here at home at Hyde Stadium against the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Stepping in, batting first for the Sioux Falls Sunfish will be the second baseman in number 24, JT Mix. So Mix steps in. First pitch swinging. It will go to the second baseman. Skelton bobbles it. The throw on to first is in time anyway. It saves Skelton from being credited with an error and 1 away on 1 pitch. Skelton has been notoriously shaky in the field for the Pierre Trappers so far this season, but is able to recover to get JT Mix out, the leadoff batter, who seemingly almost gave up after he saw it went right to the second baseman, slowed down, but after Skelton bobbled the ball, picked it up, but it was too late for Mix. First pitch of the ball game is taken high for ball number 1. 1 ball and no strikes. So after a 1-pitch ground out, the first 2 pitches of this at-bat to Mitch Stroh will be taken. 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 away here in the top of the 1st inning. Stroh, the center fielder for the Sunfish tonight, did not play in yesterday's game. Check swing, but it will be a called strike anyway. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Umpires for today's game, Tristan Jones, who was yesterday's field umpire, is behind the plate calling the balls and strikes. And a new umpire to the two-man crew, Samuel Barrett, is the umpire in the field. Ball goes low, evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stroh did not play in yesterday's game, but did play in Sioux Falls in their home opener against the Trappers. He went 0 for 2 with an RBI and a strikeout. He enters today's game batting .154. The 2-2 McCullum deals. On the outside part of the plate, count will run full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Today, the Pierre Trappers wearing navy hats and navy uniforms, a gold Trappers script across the front with gold scripted numbers on the back. The 3-2, it's a line drive into center field. That will drop for a base hit, and the Sioux Falls Sunfish have their first man on with Mitch Stroh getting aboard with 1 away. So it will bring up Jonathan Brandon, the shortstop. The Sunfish wearing the same uniforms as yesterday with different pants. They're gray uniforms, teal sleeves on the right, orange sleeves on the left, with Sioux Falls as a word mark across the front. Orange Sioux and Teal Falls, but wearing white pants today instead of the grays they wore yesterday. McCullum first pitch will be a short ground ball to the first baseman Strong. Strong will keep it himself, step on the bag for out number 2 of the inning. But it will advance the runner for the Sunfish as Stroh will be able to get into scoring position at second base. So Brandon grounds out to first unassisted. Stroh will advance to second base on the ground out and bring up the right fielder, Zeph Hoffpower, who was a Trapper killer back in Sioux Falls, did not get the play in yesterday's game. Skelton will threaten Stroh back to the bag at second base. McCullum looks back over at second. Fires, the first pitch will be blocked by Reinhardt but be taken for a ball. Hoffpower went 2 for 3 with a run scored at the game in Sioux Falls in that one-game series for the Sunfish home opener. He's currently batting .333 on the year for Sioux Falls. Runner at second. The 1-0 pitch will miss inside. Count runs to 2 balls and no strikes from Nick McCullum to Zeph Hoffpower. Hoffpower, a native of Berwick, Louisiana, attending Pensacola State College. He swings through the 2-0 count. To put it more in McCullum's favor, 2 balls and 1 strike. Runner stands at second base for the Sunfish here in the top of the first inning. Game start time was right at 7:05. Ball misses low, puts the count to 3-1. McCullum in danger of losing the cleanup batter in Hoffpower. On deck for the Sunfish is Dane Frazier. The 3-1 is chopped down the third baseline and foul. Pushing it even farther out of play is Caden Cardoso, the third baseman for the Trappers tonight. Count will run full after the foul ball, 3 balls and 2 strikes. To Hoffpower. Hoffpower, as well as being a batter for the Sunfish, as a fly ball will head back into the press box and hit off the top. Out of play. And making a play on it is a fan in the stands. I believe it was a little out of my view, but it may have been a one-handed catch. Caught an ovation from the crowd as a pitch will run outside for ball 4. Trappers did have a spot to put the runner after Stroh advanced to second base on the previous batter's ground out in Jonathan Brandon. So Stroh will advance no farther than where he was. Stroh now stands at second, Hoffpower at first, and it will bring up Dane Frazier. McCullum sets and deals a big swing by Dane Frazier for strike number 1. Frazier joined the team 2 days ago. Actually signed on the dotted line the same day that he played back in Sioux Falls at Caris Park. A swing and a fly ball into right field, hooking foul, and it will go out of play. We'll push the count to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Dane Frazier Again, signed on the dotted line 2 days ago, making his first road trip with the team and now his first road appearance. A native of Missoula, Montana. The 0-2 from McCullum will go low in the dirt for ball one. So now a 1-2 count. McCullum breaking ball high. We'll even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away here in the inning. Sunfish have 2 runners on, and Zeph Hoffpower, who stands at first, and Mitch Stroh, who stands at second. McCullum kicks and deals inside. Count will run full, 3-2. In McCullum's last start, walked 7 batters and 5 innings worked against the Spearfish Sasquatch. A swing and a miss will end the inning. First punch out for the Trappers leader in strikeouts. Dane Frazier goes down swinging. The Sunfish leave 2 runners on. The Trappers will have their first chance to grab a bat and hit when we return here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube and Mixlr live streams. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's the old top Gator here with Gators Pizza Pasta Subs in the Northridge Plaza. Gators is known for top quality food. Now you can have our food selections delivered right to your front door using DoorDash. That's right, now you have 4 ways that you can get great Gators food. Dine in, carry out, curbside pickup, and now delivery through DoorDash. Gators has been serving the Pierre area and now Trappers baseball fans since 1987. Gators Pizza Pasta Subs in the Northridge Plaza.
Back for the bottom of the first inning here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube and Mixlr live streams. Tyler Katz here with you on the call. We'll take you through the starting lineup defensively for the Sunfish and the batting order for the Pierre Trappers before we get underway here in the bottom of the first. For the Sunfish, from in left field will be Thompson, the center fielder Stroh, and the right fielder Hoffpower. In the infield from left to right, Frazier at third, Brandon at short, Mix at second, and Cricket Danielson at first. The battery for the Sunfish will have Santangelo on the mound and Beers behind the plate. For the Trappers, their batting order will have Skelton, the second baseman, batting first, the center fielder Mast, the designated hitter Adams, the third baseman Cardoso, the first baseman Strong, the catcher Reinhardt, the right fielder Newman, the left fielder Osborne, and the shortstop Cordes. Pitching tonight for the Pierre Trappers, as we just saw in the last half inning, is Nick McCullum. So Andalo Santangelo for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. We thought he was coming in yesterday, but ended up giving his jersey to fellow Sunfish player in Asante Wilson, who usually wears 22, caused a bit of confusion. And now I believe, it was just a jersey swap, as Santangelo comes out wearing Wilson's 22. So a jersey swap yesterday that I guess we weren't told about. But it is Santangelo on the mound tonight for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. The Towson Tiger, a native of Ophir, Colorado, finished his freshman season playing for Towson. Leading things off will be the second baseman Tyler Skelton. Santangelo pitches a fastball high and inside for ball number 1. Santangelo has pitched in 1 game so far this season. It was not a start. It was in relief back on June 2nd against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Allowed 2 hits. Pitch will go low for ball 2. He allowed 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout, getting no decision in his 2 innings of work. Leadoff batter Tyler Skelton went 1 for 5 yesterday as the designated hitter. He's back in the field tonight. Third pitch from Santangelo will miss low for ball 3. Temperature has calmed down here from Pierre, South Dakota. It was a scorching 99-degree day at first pitch yesterday. It's around 84 degrees first pitch today. 3-0 pitch will be taken for a called strike number 1. Attendance of approximately around 300 here from Hyde Stadium. So now a 3-1 count to Tyler Skelton. He swings, and that will get through into the left field gap, and the leadoff man is on for the Pierre Trappers off a Tyler Skelton single. It took the Trappers 5 full innings to get a base hit yesterday. It takes them just one batter today. It will bring up Eric Mass, the center fielder, who went 1 for 4 yesterday with a run and 2 strikeouts. He gets his second consecutive start at the right field position. Santangelo looks down, accepts the sign, kicks and deals on the outside part of the plate, but it will catch the strike zone for strike number 1. Tyler Skelton stands at first base with nobody out in a scoreless ball game between the Sioux Falls Sunfish and the Pierre Trappers. Bottom of the first. Santangelo looks down, the right-handed pitcher for the Sunfish. Runner goes, and the ball will get away from Beers, the catcher, and a stolen base is credited to Tyler Skelton. Tyler Skelton this season now has tried to swipe a bag 6 times, being successful all but one of them. There's a reason that he's the leadoff batter with some speed. Pitch went in for a ball, will even the count at 1-1. Now a high pop fly out of play in foul territory. Heading on to Capitol Avenue. No, it will barely miss a section of parallel parked cars down the left field line, hitting off a berm and rolling back towards the Sioux Falls dugout. Foul ball will run the count to Mass to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mass taking a couple of half hacks, waiting for Santangelo to get set. A couple checks over at the runner at second, and Skelton. Pitch will go outside, evening the count at 2-2. A beautiful day for baseball. Not a cloud in the sky here from Pierre, South Dakota at 84 degrees. And if that's not baseball weather, I don't know what is. So a 2-2 count, another check over at Skelton by Santangelo. Even pitch count. That's a fly ball into center field. That will drop for a base hit. Rounding third and coming home is Tyler Skelton, and the Pierre Trappers have taken a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. Talk about a fast start for the Pierre Trappers. An RBI single by Eric Mast. Back-to-back base hits for the Pierre Trappers. It scores Tyler Skelton from scoring position, and the Trappers have a 1-0 lead. And it will bring up Colin Adams, who yesterday was a Sunfish killer. He went 2 for 3 with 2 runs, a walk, and a strikeout. He's batting .667 with a sample size of 1 game. First pitch to Adams will run inside from Santangelo for ball number 1. For Santangelo, first run that he's allowed all year after his 2 scoreless innings against the Whiskey Jacks. Check over at Mast, who stands at first. Santangelo wary after the Skelton stolen base. Now a pickoff attempt back to first base, but sliding in safely is the runner at first in Mast. Santangelo receives the ball back with a 1-0 count to Colin Adams, the designated hitter. Trappers did start with a 1-0 lead in the first inning 2 days ago in Sioux Falls. Now a fly ball into center field, strolling to his right side, and making the catch will be Mitch Stroh. So the first out of the inning comes on a deep fly ball out from Colin Adams to center field. So we'll bring up the cleanup batter in Caden Cardoso. Cardoso went 1 for 3 yesterday. He walked and struck out. Got his first base hit in just about a week yesterday after he was slumping in both the Spearfish series and the game in Sioux Falls. So now with 1 out and a runner at first, Cardoso will line a shot into center field. That will drop for a base hit. Rounding third but putting on the brakes is Eric Mast as the Trappers will play station to station. The third base hit of the inning belongs to Caden Cardoso. It advances Mast to second base and it will bring up Nicholas Strong. A very good start for the Pierre Trappers. But as I was saying, that game in Sioux Falls, the Trappers scored in the first inning, but that was the only run they were able to push across, as the Sunfish would score 6 unanswered to win that game 6-1 in their home opener. Trappers now have runners at first and second with 1 away, bringing up Nicholas Strong. Strong of the batters in the starting lineup for the Pierre Trappers, unfortunately for him, has the worst batting average, batting .080. He had a 0 for 3 day yesterday with a walk and a strikeout. First pitch taken for a ball. Santangelo checks over at the runner at second and Mast. A long look over at Mast. Checks him again. Now deals inside for ball 2. Will even the count to the first baseman for the Pierre Trappers in Nicholas Strong. Strong, you have to look a little while back to find his last base hit. That was game 1 of the Spearfish series back on May 31st on Memorial Day. So a 2-0 count. The pitch and a fly ball into right field that will end up hooking foul and out of play for strike 1. So we'll go to a 2-1 count to Nicholas Strong with 1 away in the inning. The Trappers have already pushed 3 base hits across on Andalo Santangelo and a run. Trappers 5 games back on the Fremont Moo. The Moo play tonight trying to sweep the Badlands Big Sticks for their 10th win in a row. 2-1 count will go in. The dirt ball will get away. Mast hesitates, now heads to third. The throw down is high, and sliding in safely is Eric Mast. Also taking second base is Caden Cardoso. It will go down as a wild pitch with Mast and Cardoso both advancing. The wild pitch means it's a 3-1 count now to the first baseman Strong. Strong with a bat waggle waiting for Santangelo. Santangelo now kicks and fires a foul ball straight back into the screen where it says welcome to Hyde Stadium. It will head into the foul ball screen and back onto the field of play. Count will run full to Nicholas Strong. Strong, the current batter for the Pierre Trappers, with a full count. Brock Reinhardt stands on deck. Could be a huge inning for the Trappers should Strong come in here. Pitch will run inside for ball 4, and the Trappers have the bases loaded with 1 away here in the bottom of the first inning. So it will bring up number 23 and Brock Reinhardt. Bases are loaded for the Pierre Trappers with 1 away in the inning. Reinhardt in a big situation here for the Pierre Trappers. Bases loaded, 1 out, and a chance to extend the lead. Pitch will run on the outside part of the plate, but for a called strike number 1. Reinhardt, a native of Woodbury, Massachusetts. Excuse me, Minnesota. Woodbury, Minnesota. Pitch runs outside, ball 1. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. A South Dakota State Jackrabbit continuing to play in South Dakota for summer ball here with the Pierre Trappers. Bases loaded, a 1-1 count. A swing and a miss through the pitch for Brock Reinhardt. On deck for the Trappers is Jacob Newman. It's now a 1-2 count, bottom of the first. Trappers lead 1-0. They have the bases loaded with one away with Brock Reinhardt, the batter. From the left-handed batter's box, Reinhardt takes his at-bat, time called by the home plate umpire. Play ball signal as Reinhardt steps back in the box. Has a couple more practice swings waiting for Santangelo to get set. Check over at the runner at third and mast. The 1-2 will go low, evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Reinhardt did not play yesterday, but played in Sioux Falls, went 0 for 3 with a walk. He's currently batting .261 on the year. Reinhardt could come in a huge situation here for the Trappers to have a huge lead in the first. A swing and a foul ball, barely got a piece of it. Ball went into the chalk for the left-handed batter's box, creating a cloud of white smoke. Good crowd for the Trappers tonight, probably the best they've had since opening night. Now a 2-2 count with one away in the inning to Brock Reinhardt. Sets and deals. Reinhardt swings through it, a strikeout for out number 2. Trappers still have a chance to produce this inning with Jacob Newman at the dish and 2 outs. Bases loaded, and Newman comes in for a big spot as the Trappers will try to avoid leaving the bases loaded. The only run came in off a RBI single by Eric Mast. Mast now stands at third. Newman, a native of Manhattan Beach, California, playing his first competitive baseball this season since he was in high school. He's yet to make an appearance for his college at Brandeis University for the Judges. So the bases loaded for the Trappers, 2 away. First pitch to Newman will go low just below the knees for ball 1. Newman has turned into a fan favorite of sorts after his story that he started this season as an intern for the Pierre Trappers but signed on the dotted line to become a full-time player for the Pierre Trappers this season. The 1-0 count. That one near same location, maybe a bit higher, but it will fall in the strike zone for strike number 1. Newman batting .190 on the season after an 0 for 3 day 2 games ago back in Sioux Falls. Newman's last base hit was in the 9th inning of the second game of the Spearfish series. A swing and a foul ball off the plate for strike number 2. And now Andalo Santangelo, although he has allowed 3 hits and a run to come in for the Pierre Trappers, a strike away from getting out and stopping the bleeding. If Newman extends the inning, it would bring up Bennett Osborne. So now a 1-2 count, bottom 1, bases loaded, 2 outs. Trappers lead 1-0, and time is called by the field umpire. Play ball as Newman steps back in. The windup and pitch in the dirt gets away, but the runners stay where it is. It only rolled to the grass area just outside of the home plate batter's box area. Count will run to 2 balls and 2 strikes as Newman, disciplined, evens the count at 2-2. Four hits on the season for Jacob Newman. 4 RBIs, 5 walks, and 6 strikeouts. The windup and pitch, Newman up the middle, fielding it's the shortstop, throws on to second, Brandon Tamix. Combined for the fielder's choice. Out the Trappers do get 1 out of the inning, but that's all they'll get. As Andalo Santangelo stops the bleeding where it is, the Trappers will leave the bases loaded. We'll be right back here for the second inning here on the Pierre Trappers Mixler and YouTube live streams. We'll be right back. Dano's Marine is a proud partner of Pierre Trappers Baseball. Located at 320 St. Charles Street, Dano's provides service on your boat to get you back out on the water in the dog days of summer. Give them a call at 605-224-6612. That's Dano's Marine at 605-224-6612. Any water, any problem, Dano's Marine. Welcome back. Second inning on tap here from Hyde Stadium. And at this time, a few sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season that we would like to extend a thank you to, including Avera, Marco, the Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, Corner Station, The Crossing, and tonight's game sponsor in Aflac. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. Top of the second inning with Nick McCullum returning for his second inning of work. It will be the 6, 7, 8 of the Sunfish lineup due up. The Sunfish got a base hit and 2 runners on after Stroh singled and Hoffpower drew a walk, but the Sunfish had to leave 2 runners on after Dane Frazier struck out to end the inning last inning. Last inning for the Pierre Trappers, 3 base hits in 4 batters. Skelton, Mast, and Cardoso all singled, combined to score a run for the Pierre Trappers. However, unfortunately for the team from Pierre and the hometown crowd, the Trappers had to leave the bases loaded after a Brock Reinhardt strikeout and Jacob Newman grounding into a fielder's choice. So leading things off here in inning number 2 will be Jesus Licon, the designated hitter. Licon, the junior out of El Paso, Texas, takes the first pitch inside for ball 1. A 1-0 count. McCullum, a high kick and deal, and swinging through this one in a big swing for Licon for strike number 1. Licon did go 2 for 3 yesterday with a walk and a strikeout, upped his batting average to where it is currently at .292. Licon steps back towards the dugout, making a few adjustments before stepping back in the box. Pitch will go high to Licon for ball 2. McCullum working quickly with a 2-1 count, ground ball up the middle to the second baseman. Skelton has trouble with it again, but recovers in time for the second time tonight for out number 1 of the inning.
Now batting for the Sunfish, the left fielder, number 33, Gannon Thompson.
It will bring up Gannon Thompson, another Sunfish batter. I believe only 3 batters in the starting lineup played yesterday. The other 6 in the starting batting order for the Sioux Falls Sunfish all played 2 games ago in Sioux Falls, but did not get to play yesterday in the series opener here at Hyde Stadium. The 1-0 is a check swing foul ball heading out of play. So a 1-1 count to the left fielder, Gannon Thompson. Thompson 2 games ago in Sioux Falls, a foul ball down the third baseline, a weak chopper towards the third base coach for the Sunfish in Coach Hovde. But picking it up and firing it back in will be the third baseman for the Pierre Trappers in Caden Cardoso. Foul ball will push the count to 1-2. A big swing and a miss. Gannon Thompson goes down on strikes. So it will bring up the first baseman, number 20, Dylan Cricket Danielson. Cricket Danielson having a rough start to his year. 3 games ago against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks went 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts wearing the golden sombrero. First pitch taken high for ball 1. Then in the game in Sioux Falls, Cricket Danielson started with 2 consecutive punch-outs before finally breaking through with a double. First pitch, second pitch of the at-bat, a swing and a miss for strike number 1, evening the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. A foul ball back into the Welcome to Hyde Stadium sign puts the count to 1-2. Dylan Cricket Danielson, a native of Marshall, Minnesota, playing for the Oral Roberts Golden Eagles. Mentioned a couple nights ago, 1-2 count will go low for ball 2. Oral Roberts becoming nationally known this year after their Sweet 16 run in the NCAA basketball tournament. They ended up losing by just a basket to Arkansas in the Sweet 16. Pitch inside for ball 3 will draw a groan from the home supporters. So now a full count to Cricket Danielson. McCullum winds up and deals a swing, and a high pop fly will head onto the street. Well out of play. After Cricket Danielson, if he extends the inning with 2 away, McCullum winds up and deals pitch inside for ball 4. So McCullum walks his second batter of the evening, and it will extend the inning to get to the 9-hole batter in Declan Beers.
Now batting for the Sunfish, the catcher, number 3, Declan Beers.
Beers, the catcher, did not play yesterday against the Pierre Trappers, but played in Sioux Falls for their home opener. He went 1 for 3 with an RBI, couple of punch-outs, and a walk. First pitch to Beers will run outside for ball 1. So a 1-0 count, 2 away, pitch will run outside for ball 2. So McCullum, after walking Cricket Danielson, has a 2-0 count on Declan Beers. A chopper down the third baseline and knocked out of play by Cardoso to make it a foul ball, 2-1. Another runner gets on for the Sunfish this inning off a 2-out walk by Dylan Cricket Danielson. Extended the inning to bring up Declan Beers. Beers steps back in, puts the bat over his shoulder, the left-handed batter for the Sunfish. Bounce ball in the dirt, runner goes to second, the throw down. He is out at second base. Caught stealing by the catcher in Brock Reinhardt, and the inning will end with no runners left on base. And after Declan Beers acquired a 3-1 count on him, he'll get another at-bat when the Sunfish come up in the third inning. We'll be right back for the bottom of the second here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube and Mixler live streams. We'll be right back. Wow, Shell's Quick Stop is the place to go for a variety of food, drinks, fishing tackle, and more. Hungry? Come on down for breakfast pizza, burritos, biscuits and gravy, soup, salad, and wraps. Thirsty? Try their hot and cold espresso drinks, lattes, frappuccinos, and milkshakes from the drive-up window. Heading down to the water? Stop by to pick up minnows, crawlers, and leeches to secure the big bites. All of it's down at Shell's at 621 West Sioux Avenue. Bottom of the second inning after a big caught stealing off a throw by Brock Reinhardt That caught Dylan Cricket Danielson in between the bases after he thought it was a wild pitch by Nick McCullum. So it ends the inning prematurely for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. It will bring up the Pierre Trappers for their second inning of offensive work after scoring a run and leaving the bases loaded in the first. It will be the 8-9-1 of Bennett Osborne, Braden Cordes, and Tyler Skelton due up for the Pierre Trappers. So 1-0 Pierre in the lead here in game 2 of this 3-game set from Hyde Stadium. Trappers winning yesterday's ball game 5-2 over the Sioux Falls Sunfish, and with a win tonight have a chance to win their first series of the season here in game number 9 of the campaign. Osborne leads things off against Andalo Santangelo. First pitch swinging for strike number 1. Osborne, the lone native of South Dakota on this Pierre Trappers roster, a native of Redfield, South Dakota. A little closer to Sioux Falls than it is to Pierre. The 0-1, a ground ball to the third baseman. Picking it up is Frazier. The fire onto first is in time for the first out of the inning, a 5-3 ground out on Bennett Osborne's line. It will bring up Braden Cordes. Cordes has struggled recently for the Pierre Trappers. He went 0 for 3 yesterday with 3 strikeouts. Did end up getting a base hit a couple games before that in Spearfish. High fly ball heading into right field. Underneath it is Hoffpower, and Hoffpower will reach up to make the catch for out number 2. So 2 quick outs off a ground out and a fly out against the 8-9 part of the order. It will bring up the top of the order in Tyler Skelton, who's 1 for 1 with a single. Came around to score off the Eric Mast RBI single. So Skelton will get his second at bat in as many innings. Santangelo winds up and deals. Showing bunt was Skelton, but pulls back. Will be a called strike number 1 anyway. Deep breath by Santangelo. Steps off, sets. Winds up and deals high and inside for ball 1 to the leadoff batter, Tyler Skelton, with 2 away in the inning. So now a 1-1 count to Skelton. Ball low in the dirt, kicks up some dirt with the pitch. Puts the count at 2 balls and 1 strike. We appreciate you sticking with us here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube and Mixlr live streams for Game 2 of this 3-game set at Hyde Stadium between the Sunfish and Trappers. A ground ball to the shortstop. Picking it up is Brandon. Brandon firing onto first in time for the out. 3 up, 3 down go the Trappers in the second inning. They still lead 1-0. We'll head to the third inning of play when we return here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube and Mixlr live streams. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. The Governor's Inn is the exclusive motel partner of the Pierre Trappers. Check out the special Trappers rate for your visit to Pierre and Hyde Stadium this summer. Call 605-224-4200 directly to get the Trappers rate. With free wireless internet, a deluxe breakfast, and an indoor pool and hot tub, there's no reason not to stop at the Governor's Inn. Back for the third inning of play here from Hyde Stadium. 1-0 Trappers lead after 2 complete innings. The Trappers with the only run in today's ballgame off a run scored in the first inning off an Eric Mast RBI single. So for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, it will bring up the 9-1-2 part of the batting order with Declan Beers, JT Mix, and Mitch Stroh. Beers had a 3-1 count at the end of the last inning for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, but after Dylan Cricket Danielson was caught stealing off what he thought was a wild pitch by Nick McCullum, gunned by Brock Reinhardt, it ended Beers' at bat, but luckily for him, he gets a brand new count, although I'm sure he would have liked to keep the one he had at 3-1. So now 3 balls and 1 strike will go by the wayside for Declan Beers. A new count for the top of the third inning here from Hyde Stadium. McCullum sets, kicks and fires, and high and away for ball 1. Beers does have the advantage, though, of seeing 4 pitches from Nick McCullum, something that every other Sunfish batter didn't have that luxury of, as 2 balls will go outside. 2-0. Line score, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 runners left on base for the Sunfish. 2-0 count on the low and outside corner, catches the strike zone for strike number 1. For the Pierre Trappers, 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and 3 runners left on base. Pitch will run outside. Hitters count to Declan Beers, 3-1. A big swing and a miss. Beers was looking to send that ball into the deep outfield. Puts the count full, 3-2. Payoff pitch coming from Nick McCullum. A high kick and deal and fouled back into the screen on the third base side out of play. Keeps the count where it is at 3-2. McCullum, that pitch will go high and outside. For ball number 4, and the leadoff man will get on for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. 3rd inning in a row in which McCullum has allowed a Sunfish batter to reach via the base on balls, and the lineup card will flip over to bring up JT Mix. Mix grounded out to the second baseman in his last at-bat. Right-handed batter pulled it to the opposite way. Pitch runs inside, ducks his hips out of the way for ball 1. Sunfish have gotten a runner on in each inning so far, yet remains scoreless on the scoreboard. Pitch will bounce in the dirt. Thinking about heading over to second base as Declan Beers thought better of it and retreats back to first. So now a 2-0 count to JT Mix, the second baseman. McCullum did struggle with control in his last appearance, walking 7 in 5 innings of work. Pitch will run inside, and now that's a 3-0 count. So a big hitters count. Expect the red light to be on for JT Mix after a walk last batter on Declan Beers. The 3-0 will run down the center of the plate for a called strike number 1, 3-1. Nobody out here, top 3. Trappers lead 1-0 over the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Both teams, a foul ball chopped back to the third base side and ends up hitting the bat of the on-deck batter. Count will run full to 3-2. So now McCullum, pitch on the outside part of the plate, a called strike number 3 to JT Mix. 3rd strikeout of the game for Nick McCullum. The Pierre Trappers strikeout leader now has 19 on the season. Out number 1. Trappers have a chance to win their first series of the season with a win tonight over the Sunfish. First pitch to the new batter, Mitch Stroh, is a breaking ball in there for a called strike number 1. Stroh, the only Sunfish batter with a base hit today. He singled back in the first inning as the second batter of the ball game. McCollum outside pitch and low for ball 1. So now a 1-1 count. McCollum a check over at the runner at first. Pitch inside, thought about going but holds back, and a good call to hold back as it was a pitch high and tight for ball 2. Runner goes, the throw down to second base will go over the glove of Braden Cordes. Now breaking for third is Declan Beers. So a stolen base and an error will get the runner all the way to third. Wait to see who that is credited to. And it will go on the catcher in Brock Reinhardt. His 6th fielding error of the year, 3-2. A foul ball hitting the window of the press box. For strike 2, count will run full. Just a couple windows away from where our camera is situated. I wonder if Stroh would be footed with the bill. Full count, a swing and a miss. Strikeout number 4 of the day from Nick McCollum. Second straight strikeout pitched by Nick McCollum. Runner stands at third in Declan Beers. He walked, stole second base, and then reached third base on a throwing error by Brock Reinhardt on the throw down to second. First pitch will miss for ball 1. Now a 1-0 count to Jonathan Brandon, who grounded out to first base unassisted his previous at-bat. That strikeout for the Pierre Trappers was a big one as it took away the chance for a sacrifice fly with 2 away in the inning. McCollum deals a tip off the bat into the stands for strike number 1. 2 balls and 1 strike. McCollum, a high kick and deal, a swing and a miss. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And now McCollum, after walking the leadoff batter of the inning in Declan Beers, has a chance to strike out 3 Sunfish in a row. McCollum delivers. Ball gets away, runner breaks home, and the Sunfish have tied the ball game at 1 apiece. Ball gets away on a wild pitch from Nick McCollum. Count will also run full to the batter in Brandon. So the walk in the air comes back to bite Nick McCollum. And the Pierre Trappers, as the Sunfish tie this game at 1. The 3-2 will go low. Second walk of the inning surrendered by Nick McCollum. 4th walk overall. So tied on walks and strikeouts. McCollum has struck out 4 Sunfish, has also walked 4 Sunfish. It will bring up Zeph Hoffpower, who was one of the now 4 Sunfish batters to have walked. A fly ball into center field. Diving play, and coming up with it is Eric Mast in center field. Mast, a diving play for the 3rd out in the inning. Have a day for Eric Mast so far. An RBI single and a hit-saving diving play in center field. The Sunfish, however, do tie this ball game at 1 apiece. The Trappers will grab a bat to hit in the bottom of the 3rd inning when we return here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube and Mixler live streams. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Total Beauty and Speedway Laundry are your homes for everything clothing in the capital area. Since 2010, Total Beauty has offered great customer service and competitive prices. Next door at Speedway Laundry, they have you covered for a fast, convenient way to wash and dry your clothes and other household items, including king-size comforters. Visit them at 111 First Street in Fort Pierre.
Bottom of the third inning here from Hyde Stadium, about to get underway. A few more sponsors we'd like to thank before we get started here in inning number 3. In the bottom of inning number 3, I should say, including A Cut and Style, Pierre Physical Therapy, Kathy Sun and Shine Properties, the South Dakota Lottery, and Xander Auto Parts. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. Sunfish tied the ball game the last half inning. We're now at 1 apiece. It's the 2-3-4 of the Trappers batting order due up, with Eric Mast, Colin Adams, and Caden Cardoso. That section of the batting order, however, a combined 2 for 3 today. Eric Mast steps in, taking you around the Expedition League, a barn burner in Dickinson, North Dakota, as the Badlands Big Sticks and the Fremont Moo are tied at 10 in the 6th inning. First pitch will bounce for ball number 1. Eric Mast, the current batter, 1 for 1 with an RBI single back in the first. Battle between the Souris Valley Saberdogs and the Spearfish Sasquatch rubber match from Minot. Saberdogs lead 8-4, bottom 7. 1-0 count. That one will also go low from Santangelo, 2-0. The Mining City Tommyknockers continue their dominance at the top of the Lewis Division. They lead 7-0 over the Clark Division team, the Western Nebraska Pioneers, in the top of the 5th. 2-0 count to Eric Mast. That will run in and hit the shoe of Mast, and the leadoff man will get on for the Pierre Trappers off a hit by pitch. One other game in action, the Hastings Sodbusters are on pace to snap their 6-game losing streak. In the bottom of the 5th, they have a 6-0 lead over the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. Lowest scoring game of the day so far is right here at Hyde Stadium with 2 combined runs. It will bring up Colin Adams, who's batting .500 on the year, a combined 2 for 4 after going 2 for 3 yesterday and an 0 for 1 start today. First pitch taken down the center of the plate for strike number 1. Sunfish scoring in the previous inning to tie the ball game. Run will go unearned. Pickoff attempt, and sliding back into first base safely is Eric Mast. The run does not go against Nick McCullum's ERA after the throwing error allowed Beers to get into third base in the first place. If that didn't happen, the wild pitch wouldn't have scored him. Throw back to first. Ball gets away, and now the runner in Mast breaks for second base. Ball gets away even further, and heading for third is Eric Mast, standing up a 2-base error against the Sunfish. So a pickoff attempt goes wide, and E1 will advance Mast 2 bases with nobody out here in the third. Error goes on Santangelo. So now Adams in an RBI opportunity with an 0-1 count. First error of the series for the Sunfish. Check swing that turns into a regular swing. That drops for a base hit. Eric Mast comes in to score, and an RBI single by Colin Adams. The Pierre Trappers, a half inning after losing the lead, retake it. 2-1 Pierre Trappers in front. A single by Colin Adams drives in Mast. And it seems like that 2-3-4 of Mast, Adams, and Cardoso is the heart of the Pierre Trappers lineup so far. Adams making it just his second start, but making his presence felt here in Pierre, South Dakota. Runner at first base. First pitch will go low for ball number 1. So now Cardoso, 1 for 1, will get the at-bat with a runner standing at first base. The hit by Adams, the 4th of the day for the Pierre Trappers. Ball will go low for ball number 2. Scoreboard here at Hyde Stadium set for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. That won't change here at Hyde until late June. Although the Trappers and Sunfish play a variety of opponents. Broken battle, Roper into left field. That drops for a base hit. And Caden Cardoso, the last man ever to use that bat, as it shattered and went down the left field line. Bits and pieces all over the middle infield. And that's certainly a feeling that some players have to get used to, as in college, it is all aluminum bats. It will go down as a broken bat base hit for Caden Cardoso, advancing Colin Adams to second base. It will bring up Nicholas Strong. But with aluminum bats, rarely, if ever, do aluminum bats break. A lot more common with wood, as you saw just there. Pitch will go low in the dirt for ball number 1. 2-1 Pierre Trappers in the lead. 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error for the Sunfish. 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Pierre Trappers. Now a 1-0 count to Nicholas Strong, who walked in his previous plate appearance. 1-0 will go low to double the ball count to 2. 2 balls, no strikes, nobody out here, bottom 3. The Trappers have retaken the lead 2-1. Off an RBI single by Colin Adams that drove in Mast, who advanced to third after a hit by pitch on an error on Sunfish pitcher Santangelo. Fly ball into right field. That will drop for a base hit. The Trappers thought it might have been caught, so they'll be forced to play station to station. But now for the second time today, the Trappers have the bases loaded. The only difference this time is there's nobody out in the inning. And looking for some redemption is Brock Reinhardt, who struck out with the bases loaded back in the first. So 3 consecutive base hits for the Pierre Trappers. Caden Cardoso advances to second. Colin Adams advances to third. Brock Reinhardt steps in. He struck out with the bases loaded last time. He'll look for redemption against Santangelo with the bases loaded and nobody out here, bottom 3. First pitch catches the knees of the strike zone for strike number 1. Exciting game through the first 3 innings. 3 runs scored. Sunfish came back to tie the game in the top half of this inning, only for the Trappers to retake the lead. Foul ball well out of play. Puts the count to 0-2. Now Reinhardt in danger of striking out for the second time tonight with the bases loaded. Jacob Newman stands on deck. He also grounded out to a fielder's choice in the first inning with the bases loaded. No outs. Pitch is high and outside. A pitch out. 1-2. Bases loaded, Strong at first, Cardoso at second, Adams at third, Reinhardt taking the at-bat. Now some action beginning down the left field line. Ball gets away, a wild pitch. Breaking for home is Colin Adams, and he will score. The Trappers have extended their lead. 3-1, Pierre. It will go down as another wild pitch against Santangelo. All 3 runners advance a bag. Adams gets home. Cardoso gets to third. And Strong gets to second. 2-2 count to Reinhardt. He fouls one back onto Capitol Avenue. Oh, right in between two parallel parked cars. A lucky day for those two car owners as a foul ball landed directly in between them. Maybe, from what I'm looking at, 5 to 6 feet of space in between those two. Just the perfect spot for a ball to land. The 2-2 up the middle to the second baseman. Throw on to first. Brandon is in time. It's an RBI ground out for Brock Reinhardt. A 6-3 RBI ground out for Brock Reinhardt. The Trappers have put up 3 this inning to now lead 4-1. Cardoso comes in to score. Strong advances to third. And that's only out number 1. And with a runner still at third, the Trappers could score again off a sacrifice by Jacob Newman. First pitch is taken for strike 1. A sacrifice or a base hit, pretty much anything into the outfield for Newman would score Strong from third. Starts out the at-bat with a called strike. A swing and a foul ball down the third baseline. So puts the count at 0-2 to Newman. 4-1 Trappers lead. Pitch taken low, but for a called strike number 3. Second strikeout of the day for Andalo Santangelo. So it will bring up Bennett Osborne. Osborne 0 for 1 with a ground out to third. He went 0 for 4 2 games ago back in Sioux Falls. For Osborne, his last base hit was on the first of the month in the 5th inning in the second game of the Spearfish series. Pitch taken on the inside part of the plate for a called strike number 1. So now an 0-1 count. 2 consecutive outs that Santangelo has pitched through. Pitch runs inside for ball number 1. Trappers have put up 3 in the bottom half of the third. They now lead their in-state rivals from Sioux Falls 4-1. Third of 6 consecutive times that these two teams will see each other. Pitch runs inside for 2-1. For this 3-game set from Hyde Stadium, the Trappers lead the series 1-0. But of the 6 consecutive games, if you want to count that as an entire 6-game series is tied at 1, with Sioux Falls taking the game in Sioux Falls. Pitch bounces off the plate and off the catcher's mask of Beers. He runs up the first baseline to receive it. But nothing doing from the third base runner and Nicholas Strong. Pitch runs to 3-1. If Osborne draws a walk, it would bring up Braden Cordes. So a 3-1 count to Bennett Osborne. A swing, fouling it off as Osborne runs the count full with 2 away in the inning. Full count, Trappers leading 4-1 here from Hyde Stadium in Game 2 of this 3-game set. Osborne, the batter. Runner at third and Nicholas Strong. Ground ball to the shortstop. Brandon picks it up, fires onto first base. That is in time for the out. Trappers leave a runner stranded at third, but score 3 in the inning to reclaim the lead over the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Through a third of this game, the Trappers are up on the team from Sioux Falls, 4-1. We'll be right back for the 4th inning and the Sunfish to bat again when we return here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube and Mixler live streams. We'll be right back.
You don't need an illness to need a doctor. You don't need to feel sick to feel better. You don't need to be unwell to get well. What you do need is a primary care provider at Sanford Health. Better healthcare starts with regular wellness visits and a familiar face who knows you, your concerns, and your goals. We're here before you need us. We're here when you need us. We're here after you need us. We're here for you. Find your primary care provider at sanfordhealth.org today.
Fourth inning just about underway here from Hyde Stadium. Before we get that inning underway, however, a few more sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season we'd like to extend a thank you to, including Awahi Pond, La Minestra, Allied Plumbing and Heating, Papa Murphy's Pizza, and Shells. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. Game 2 of this 3-game set from Hyde Stadium between the home team Pierre Trappers and the visitors in the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Game number 3 overall between these two teams, with the season series tied 1 apiece, with the Sunfish winning at their home 6-1, the Trappers winning at their home 5-2 yesterday. Tonight's the third of 14 times that these two teams will face off between June 4th and July 4th. However, after the 4th of July and after a 14-game month between these same two teams, they don't see each other again until a potential meeting in the Expedition League Divisional Playoffs. First pitch on the inside part of the plate for a called strike number 1. Leading the fourth inning off will be the 5-6-7 part of the lineup in Frazier, Licone, and Thompson. Pitch on the inside part of the plate, another called strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Frazier is not offered at either pitch from McCullum. However, both of them fall in the strike zone for strikes 1 and 2. McCullum, the 0-2, a ground ball up the middle. Diving play, Skelton can't get to it, and a leadoff single for Dane Frazier. Second time today that the leadoff runner has gotten aboard for Sioux Falls. Last time was last inning when Declan Beers reached on a walk and came around to score. First pitch to Jesus Licone falls in for a strike. Licone, the DH, went 2 for 3 yesterday. He started today with a ground out to second. He's 0 for 1. Time is called. So now McCullum having to deal with Frazier at first base off the base hit. A ground ball up the middle. McCullum throws down to the second baseman. On to first. That one is not in time. It will go down as a fielder's choice with Licone reaching safely. Either way, 1 out in the inning and a heads-up play by Nick McCullum to throw out the lead runner at second base. So Licone reaching on the fielder's choice. Frazier out between the base paths. It will bring up Gannon Thompson, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. First pitch to Thompson on the inside part of the zone for strike number 1. Thompson gives a look over to the third base coach and Coach Hovde for the Sunfish before stepping back in the box. A check swing, but he clearly went around for strike number 2. An 0-2 count to Gannon Thompson, who struck out earlier today swinging against McCullum. Round 2 between Thompson and McCullum. Runner goes, a swing and a foul ball. And I believe they're going to call that a drop third strike. So another punch out for Nick McCullum. Strikeout number 5. Thompson did not make an attempt to head over to first base, just retreating back to the dugout. They're going to be happy with Licone just advancing. To second base. So we'll bring up Dylan Cricket Danielson with 2 away in the inning. Cricket Danielson walked in his previous at-bat. A big swing and a miss on a pitch high and tight for strike 1. Dylan Cricket Danielson announced as tonight's beer batter from Hyde Stadium. So with some more strikes called on this at-bat, the louder you may hear the crowd get. Here from the state capital of South Dakota. Pitch misses in the dirt for ball number 1. Evens the count at 1-1. Runner stands at second in Jesus Licone. 2 away in the inning for the at-bat of Dylan Cricket Danielson. The 1-1 broken bat, foul ball. The second broken bat that we've had in an inning. The bat looks okay, but clearly a few pieces splintered off of it. But no visible chunks missing. Until they turn the bat around and expose an entire face of the bat that is missing its covering. And tell exactly where the piece of wood splintered off of that for Dylan Cricket Danielson. It will go down as a foul ball for strike number 2. Action going in the Sioux Falls bullpen. Potential relief of Santangelo coming in the next inning. A 1-2 count. 2 away. Pitch bounces off of home plate for ball 2. Reinhardt comes out of his normal catcher area to threaten Licone back to second. Sunfish down by 3 here in the top of the 4th. A check swing on a pitch inside. Count will run full to Cricket Danielson. Cricket Danielson, I should say, did walk in his previous at-bat back in the second inning. Pitch will run high for ball 4. So the second walk surrendered to Dylan Cricket Danielson and walk number 5 of McCullum's appearance. Of the stats that the Pierre Trappers as a team have acquired, walks have not been their strong suit. They currently lead the league as a pitching staff in walks allowed. So we'll bring up Declan Beers, who takes a first pitch strike called. He walked in his previous appearance and later came around to score, the only Sunfish batter to have reached home safely. Ball goes outside for ball number 1. Evens the count 1-1. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. Dylan Cricket Danielson at first. Jesus Licone at second base for the batter, Declan Beers. Pitch will go low and gets away. Reinhardt steps out. Both runners retreat back to their respective bags, 2-1. Right now, Beers represents the tying run with 2 runners on and the Sunfish down by 3. Here, top 4 with 2 outs. Pitch will run on the outside part of the plate, but be a called strike number 2. Beers, a native of Laverne, Minnesota, from Northern Iowa Area Community College, so moving out of his home state to play college ball. Fly ball up the middle, that will drop for a base hit. Mast picks it up, rounding third and coming home is the runner in Licone. The tag at home is in time, and Licone is gunned down from Eric Mast in center field. It stops a run from scoring. Through 3.5 innings played, the Pierre Trappers still lead the Sioux Falls Sunfish 4-1. They'll grab a bat and hit when we return here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube and Mixler live streams. Trappers fans, summer is here. Get your boat back in shape with a visit to Dano's Marine. Dano's Marine will get you back out on the water this summer with excellent service and years of experience. Give them a call at 605-224-6612 or visit them at 320 St. Charles Street in Pierre. Any water, any problem, Dano's Marine. Bottom of the fourth inning about to get underway. Just before we took a brief commercial break, a huge arm by Eric Mast to the catcher in Brock Reinhardt guns the runner in Jesus Licon, who was trying to score from second base off a single by Declan Beers. That ended the inning right there as it was out number 3 of the inning. It could have been a potential bases loaded for the Sunfish, and I certainly don't blame Licon for trying to stretch all the way home. But unfortunately for the Sunfish, the arm of Eric Mast was too much as it gunned Licon coming home. So through 3.5 innings played, the Pierre Trappers still lead the Sioux Falls Sunfish 4-1. Leading things off in the fourth inning for the Pierre Trappers will be the 9-1-2 in Cordis, Skelton, and Mast. Cordis, one of just 2 Trapper batters not to bat in the last inning. It was him and Skelton who will be in the on-deck circle when we begin this inning. And before Cordis steps in the batter's box, a few more sponsors we'd like to thank of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season, including Layden and Associates, Branding Iron Bistro, the South Dakota Treasurer's Office, Farmers Union Insurance, and American Family Insurance, Brittany Shufflebine. As Cordis is announced to the home crowd here at Hyde Stadium, he's 0 for 1 today with a fly out to right field. Same pitcher remains in Andalo Santangelo. So after some action in the Sioux Falls bullpen, that action remains. Still warming up. First pitch will run inside. A fastball will hit the shoulder of Braden Cordis. Looks like he's okay off of that, and the leadoff man gets on. So 1 pitch, 1 runner on. He's being checked on by Coach May, says he's okay. And it will bring up number 14 and Tyler Skelton. So Skelton looking over Coach Jamie, the third base coach for the Pierre Trappers, giving signs to his second baseman. Potential hit and run opportunity with a runner at first base and nobody out. First pitch, runner goes, the swing, throw down is going to be not in time as Braden Cordis will steal a base. It was a called hit and run by the Pierre Trappers. However, with Skelton not making contact, it will turn into a regular stolen base for Braden Cordis. Runner in scoring position with nobody out for the Pierre Trappers. Time called. Skelton settling into the batter's box. Play ball, the kick and fire. Low in the dirt, ball gets away, and Braden Cordis will advance another 90 feet. He gets to third on the wild pitch. Will even the count at 1-1 as well. So now a runner just 90 feet away for the Pierre Trappers with nobody out. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see him just to the right side of the scorebug. The runner Cordis at third. Pitch to Skelton. He was swinging for the fences for strike number 2. So Cordis taking a hit by pitch, stealing a base, and advancing on a wild pitch to get to third with no contact made on a baseball this inning. The 1-2 is in the dirt yet again. A good block by Beers stops Cordis from breaking for home. Evens the count at 2-2 to Tyler Skelton. Skelton 1 for 2 today with a single back in the first and a ground out to the shortstop in the second. So now a 2-2 count, runner at third, nobody out. Trappers lead 4-1, bottom four. Wind up and pitch. Reaching for it is Tyler Skelton. A foul ball to keep the count where it is at 2-2. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. They've left 5 runners on base. A 2-2 count to Tyler Skelton. The Trappers 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. They've left 4 on base to this point. The 2-2 is a fly ball into center field. That will drop for a base hit. Coming home is Braden Cordes, and run number 5 for the Pierre Trappers. So the Trappers score in 2 consecutive innings. Second base hit of the day for Tyler Skelton, but this one will go for an RBI. And now a meeting at the mound, as that's Walker Burlington talking to his pitcher. It looks like it could be a potential substitution for the Sioux Falls Sunfish with action in the bullpen. It is as the bullpen arm will come out, and that will be the day for Andalo Santangelo, who allows 5 runs against the Pierre Trappers, including 7 base hits in 3 innings pitched. We'll let the new pitcher get warmed up, and we'll get you updated on who he is when we return here in the Pierre Trappers Mixler and YouTube live streams. We'll be right back. Join the Shell's loyalty program and never pay full price for gas again. Shell's loyalty members also get monthly specials for increased savings. Shell's doesn't just fill up your tank, but it also fills up your stomach with a variety of food and drinks. Become a loyalty club member today by visiting Shell's at 621 Sioux Avenue or give them a call at 605-224-6266. Welcome back to the Pierre Trappers YouTube and Mixler live streams. New pitcher for the Sioux Falls Sunfish is number 1 in Kenneth Dutka. Dutka was a batter for the Sioux Falls Sunfish yesterday and was the starting right fielder. Has appeared in 2 pitching appearances and as well is a true pitcher for Sioux Falls this season. Just with his bat as well, they've been utilizing that to their advantage. In 2 appearances this season, Dutka has an 0-1 record in 6 1/3 innings pitched, has acquired an 8.52 ERA, 8 hits allowed, 7 runs, 6 of them earned, has walked 2, struck out 10, allowed a home run in his 2 appearances this season. In his last appearance against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks back on May 29th, pitched in relief, ended up getting the loss, pitching 3 1/3. 1 hit, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, walked 1, and struck out 6. So it will be Dutka taking on the new batter in Eric Mast. Mast 1 for 1 today with a single and a base hit. So Mast will be the first batter that Dutka has to face. Runner stands at first for the Pierre Trappers, nobody out. First pitch taken on the outside part of the plate, but a called strike number 1. So Santangelo will only pitch 3 complete innings despite pitching here in the 4th. No outs recorded this inning. And a ground ball up the middle. Shortstop flips to second, over to first in time. And the first batter that the new pitcher Dutka faces grounds into a double play. So it will go down as a 6-4-3 double play grounded into by Eric Mast. It will get Skelton out between the bases and stop any more runs from being added to Santangelo's line. It will bring up Colin Adams, who's 1 for 2 with a single and a flyout. First pitch to Adams will run inside for ball number 1. Dutka, the new pitcher for the Sunfish, a native of Richmond, Texas, playing for the El Paso Community College Tejanos. Another pitch inside, same location for ball 2. The left-handed pitcher for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, the lone lefty available in their bullpen. Another pitch outside for ball 3. Bases empty with 2 away. Trappers have pushed a run across in this inning. It goes on the line of starting pitcher Andalo Santangelo. Pitch outside, and after a double play grounded into a 4-pitch walk to Colin Adams. So we'll bring up Caden Cardoso as the Trappers try to start a 2-out rally against the new pitcher. So Cardoso, the new batter. Cardoso 2 for 2 today with a pair of singles. First pitch will miss low for ball 1. Beautiful evening from the state capital of South Dakota. Not a cloud in the sky. Temperatures dropping from a game start time of 84 degrees. Pitch runs outside for ball 2. So now 6 consecutive balls pitched by Kenneth Dutka to Trapper batters. So now a 2-0 count. Ball number 7 will not be achieved as it's a called strike number 1. A 2-1 count with Adams standing at first. A fly ball into right field. Heading after it in a sliding catch is Mitch Stroh in center field. That ends the inning and Cardoso's perfect day to this point. The Trappers do push across another run and push out the Sioux Falls starting pitcher. Through 4 complete innings, the Pierre Trappers have the lead in this ballgame. 5-1. We'll take a quick break and be right back here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube and Mixlr live streams. Join the Shell's loyalty program and never pay full price for gas again. Shell's loyalty members also get monthly specials for increased savings. Shell's doesn't just fill up your tank, but it also fills up your stomach with a variety of food and drinks. Become a loyalty club member today by visiting Shell's at 621 Sioux Avenue or give them a call at 605-224-6266. Welcome back for the 5th inning of play. Nick McCullum returning for inning number 5 of his day. Before we get started here for the Sunfish half of the inning with the leadoff 1-2-3 order due up. A few more sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season that we would like to extend a thank you to, including Lariat Lanes, Big Tom's Diner, Smith Fireworks, Floyd's Truck Center, and Michelle Maupin Barrett Photography. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. So as I mentioned in the 5th inning here for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, it will be the top of the order with Mick Stroh and Brandon due up. That entire part of the order today is a combined 1 for 5. JT Mix leads things off here in the 5th inning for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. He's grounded out to second and struck out looking in the 1st and 3rd innings respectively. McCullum in each of his 2 starts went 5 innings in each of his appearances. We'll see if that remains the case if he returns for his 6th inning. Bunt laid down but will go foul for strike number 1. An interesting strategy by Walker Burlington and crew Burlington, the head coach of the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Battle of 3-win teams here in the Expedition League. The 3-6 Sunfish taking on the 3-5 Trappers. An 0-1, a foul ball back over the press box for strike number 2. So Mix instantly ditches the bunt attempt after the surprise was let down after a foul bunt for strike number 1 of the at-bat. Now, ground ball to the shortstop. Picking it up is Cordes. On to first. It is not in time. Called safe at home. Or, excuse me, safe at first. And draws some groans from the home crowd thinking that he was out on the play. But it will be a leadoff single to the shortstop for JT Mix. Beats out the throw. It's hit number 4 of the day. It will bring up Mitch Stroh. First pitch to Stroh will miss for ball 1. Stroh today 1 for 2, singled in the first, struck out swinging in the third. Yesterday, 2 double plays hit into. Pickoff attempt back to first base, but back in safely is the runner Mix. Fly ball over to the second baseman, makes the catches. Skelton goes back to Strong, and that's the double play. First double play hit into by the Sunfish today here in the top of the 5th. So it'll go down as a line out to 4, throw to 3 double play. That gets Mix out at the bases. So now a swing and a miss by the first batter after the double play in Jonathan Brandon for strike 1. Pitch will go low and away for ball number 1, 1-1. Now a fly ball foul out of play for strike number 2. So now a 1-2 count, and after the double play grounded in, or lined into, I should say, by Mitch Stroh. McCullum trying to get the untraditional 3 up, 3 down. Check swing, appeal down to the field umpire who says no swing. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Umpires today, Samuel Barrett in the field, Tristan Jones behind the plate. Wind up and pitch by McCullum down the center of the plate for a called strike number 3. Strikeout number 6. And this one is looking on Jonathan Brandon. After a double play, the Sunfish go 3 up, 3 down. We'll head to the bottom half of the inning. And the Pierre Trappers try to extend their lead, which sits at 4 when we return here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube and Mixlr live streams.
The Pierre Trappers are proud to partner with the Governor's Inn, the exclusive motel partner of the Pierre Trappers. Call 605-224-4200 for a special Trappers rate when you visit Pierre and Hyde Stadium. Whether you're coming for the best hunting, fishing, and outdoor recreation in the Midwest, just passing through, or coming out to the ballpark, the Governor's Inn is the place for you.
Bottom of the 5th inning on tap after a line out into a double play by the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Stop another scoring opportunity for the visitors from Sioux Falls. Before we get underway here in the bottom half of the 5th inning, a couple more sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season we'd like to extend a thank you to, including Red Rosa, Capital Sports, Leisure Palace, L&M Barbershop, and Beck Motors. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. Leading things off here will be Nicholas Strong here in the 5th. First pitch to Nicholas Strong will fall into the strike zone for strike number 1. 5-1 ball game in favor of the Pierre Trappers. Second pitch to Strong, nearly same location, a little farther inside for ball 1. Strong 1 for 1 today with a walk and a single. Got to third in the 3rd inning but was stranded there. Ground ball to the second baseman. Flip on to first, mix to Cricket Danielson for out number 1 of the inning. So now 1 away, and it will bring up Brock Reinhardt, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. So the first pitch to Reinhardt will fall low in the zone for strike number 1. Back out for his second inning of work is Kenneth Dutka, who came in for relief of starting pitcher Andalo Santangelo. The 0-1 is swung on and fouled into the Sioux Falls dugout for strike number 2. So now an 0-2 count to Reinhardt. Pitch goes high. Standing to make the catch is Declan Pierce, the catcher for Sioux Falls. And a called strike number 3 as Reinhardt goes down via the punch out for the second time tonight. It's the first strikeout pitched by Kenneth Dutka in this appearance. It will bring up Jacob Newman, who's 0 for 2, reaching on a fielder's choice and striking out looking in his previous appearance. Newman, after starting the season hot, has been slumping of recently. A 1-0 count to the right fielder. Strike number 1 called low. Newman did not get to play yesterday, taking a day off, but against Sioux Falls, a fly ball to right field. Chasing back on it is Hoffpower, and now a double for Jacob Newman coming into the bag. And the announcer's jinx strikes with Jacob Newman. Right after I say he falls into a slump, he rips a double into right field. So a 2-out double for Jacob Newman will put a runner into scoring position. For Newman, it's his first extra base hit of the year. It will bring up Bennett Osborne. First pitch to Osborne swung through for strike number 1. For Newman, it's his 5th base hit of the year, and as I mentioned, his first for extra bases. Check over at Newman at second base. The windup and pitch, a swing and a miss. 2 straight misses by Bennett Osborne for strike 2. Now an 0-2 count. Osborne looks into the pitcher in Dutka. A windup and pitch, high and tight for ball 1. Five runs on 8 hits and an error for the Pierre Trappers. They're going to try to extend that with a base hit by Bennett Osborne that could potentially drive in Jacob Newman, who currently stands at second. The 1-2 will go low and outside. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes after Osborne started the count 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom 5, runner at second base. Trappers leading the Sioux Falls Sunfish 5-1. Dutka winds up and deals. A line drive into right field. That will drop for a base hit. That's a fair ball. Coming home is Jacob Newman. Osborne heading for second base. Osborne with a stand-up double. Back-to-back doubles with 2 outs for the Pierre Trappers. Drive in another. So a double by Jacob Newman, immediately followed by a double by Bennett Osborne. The Trappers now lead 6-1 over the Sioux Falls Sunfish. It will bring up the 9-hole batter in Braden Cordes. Osborne standing at second base. First pitch swinging into center field. Underneath it is Stroh, and Stroh will reach up to make the catch and finally end the inning for the Sioux Falls Sunfish after 2 quick outs attained by Dutka. Back-to-back doubles by Jacob Newman and Bennett Osborne driving another. Through 5 complete innings, the Pierre Trappers lead 6-1. We'll be right back here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube and Mixlr live streams.
When it comes to clothing in the capital area, Total Beauty and Speedway Laundry have you covered. Speedway Laundry offers the fastest way to clean clothes, with free Wi-Fi offered while you wait. Next door, family-owned and operated Total Beauty has a constantly changing inventory of top-quality clothing. Check out the newest lines in clothing by giving Total Beauty and Speedway Laundry a visit at 111 First Street in Fort Pierre.
Top of the 6th inning, about to get underway here from Hyde Stadium in the matchup between the Sioux Falls Sunfish and the Pierre Trappers. The Pierre Trappers with a 5-run lead trying to win their first series of the year. With a win tonight after they won against the same Sunfish last night by a score of 5-2. Most runs the Trappers have scored against the Sunfish in 3 games, and we're only through 5 innings. Nick McCullum will return for his 6th inning of work, the most he's worked through so far this season if he can get an out this inning. A few more sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season before we begin the 6th inning here from Hyde Stadium. Oahe Family YMCA, Long Branch, Capital City Wine and Spirits, Todd's Electric, and Farmers Union Insurance Mefford. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. It will be the 4-5-6 for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Leading things off is Zeph Hoffpower. Hoffpower breaks the bat on the first pitch. It will go as a foul ball, the 3rd broken bat tonight. 2 by the Sunfish and 1 by the Trappers. And with only a limited amount of bats that the Sunfish are traveling with, 2 broken bats this game, you wonder how many they actually traveled with. McCullum winds up and deals on a high fly ball into right field. Reaching up to make the catch is Jacob Newman for out number 1. So the Hoffpower fly out to right will lead off the 6th inning, and it will bring up Dane Frazier. Frazier 1 for 2 today. He struck out swinging in the first, singled in the 4th, but was out on the fielder's choice between the bases hit into by Jesus Licon. First pitch will miss for ball number 1. Another pitch taken. This time it will catch the strike zone, evening the count at 1-1. A pitch will go low, putting the count at 1-2. McCullum working very quickly through the batter and Frazier. Frazier making his 2nd appearance for the Sioux Falls Sunfish tonight. A swing and a miss, foul tip for strike number 2. And now a swing and a miss by Dane Frazier, the second time he goes down on strikes tonight. Strikeout number 7 for Nick McCullum. He now has 23 on the season. It will bring up Jesus Licone, 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fielder's choice. Pitch will miss for ball number 1 from McCullum to the DH. Pitch runs high and inside for ball number 2. McCullum winds up and deals. Pitch goes low. 3 balls and no strikes after a strikeout to Dane Frazier. So a 3-0 count. Goes in the dirt, kicks up some dirt from home plate, and a 4-pitch walk with 2 outs in the inning. It's walk number 6 surrendered by McCullum tonight. Just a moment, we'll give you another look at around the Expedition League scores from the out-of-town games from outside of Pierre. First pitch will miss for ball number 1. McCullum winds up and deals a pitch over to the shortstop, and making an error on the play is Braden Cordes. It slips underneath his glove. It's Cordes' 4th error of the season, and everybody is safe for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. And I'm being informed by our official scorer that that will be ruled as a base hit, so Cordes, thankfully for him, will not be charged with the error, instead a base hit for Gannon Thompson. First pitch will miss low in the dirt. A pass ball counted on the first pitch to Dylan Cricket Danielson. So Licone will advance to third on the pass ball. Thompson gets to second, and now some quick just words of encouragement from the first baseman Strong and the second baseman Skelton. And with position players stepping on the mound, it will go down as mound visit number 1 of the inning. Runner faking coming home. Pitch runs inside for ball 2, and now McCullum, after 2 quick outs, starting to lose control after a walk to Jesus Licone, a single to Gannon Thompson, and now a 2-0 count to Cricket Danielson. That pitch will be a breaking ball for strike number 1. The 2-1 goes high above the letters. A hitter's count to Dylan Cricket Danielson. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 away, top 6. Trappers lead by 5. Runners at second and third with Thompson at second, Licone at third. Pitch will go low for ball number 4. Walk number 7 surrendered by Nick McCullum. It will load the bases for the Pierre Trappers. And now here comes Montario May to talk to his pitcher here in the 6th inning. Action is going in the Pierre Trappers bullpen. It looks to be Noah Borwedge warming up, as well as Jared Shelton. We'll see if this is it for Nick McCullum, or if he's going to be allowed to work out of this jam. May walks away without taking the ball from McCullum, and Nick McCullum will be trusted to his own devices to work out of a bases-loaded jam with 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Worst case scenario right now for the Pierre Trappers would be a grand slam hit by Declan Beers, but even then, the Sunfish would still find themselves down by a run. Excuse me, yeah, down by a run. It'll be Declan Beers, the new batter. Pitch gets away from Reinhardt. So the bases loaded and a 1-0 count to Declan Beers. A 1-0 count. Nowhere to put the runner for Nick McCullum. Pitch will miss on the outside yet again to Beers. Beers 1 for 1. He walked and singled on his line today. The 2-0, same location, maybe a little farther inside, but on the outside part of the plate, it's a called strike number 1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 away, bases loaded for the Sunfish. Pitch goes high and away for ball 3. Now a hitter's count to Declan Beers. Tying run is the on-deck batter. Pitch goes low and in the dirt, and Nick McCullum has walked a run in on the 8th batter he's walked tonight. And now May will come out, and that will do it for Nick McCullum's night. Pitching change on tap for the Pierre Trappers, with this being May's second mound visit of the inning. Jared Shelton will come in to pitch. We'll get you situated on his statistics when we return here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube and Mixler live streams. Nick McCullum pitching through 5 2/3, but leaves the bases loaded for Jared Shelton to work out of. We'll be right back here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube and Mixler live streams.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories with family, friends, and your community is just a way of life. Yes, in times like these, it's good to be home. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting what's important in life.
Welcome back to the Pierre Trappers YouTube and Mixler live streams. Tyler Katz here on the call with you. Top of the 6th inning, 2 away in the inning as well. Jared Shelton coming in to clean up the mess that Nick McCullum unfortunately had to leave behind. Entering his 6th inning of work, he started to shut down 4 consecutive Sunfish batters reached, 1 by a single, 3 by walks. He finishes with 8 walks and 7 strikeouts. So although the 7 strikeouts is impressive, it does not beat the walks in his walk-to-strikeout ratio. So coming in for the Pierre Trappers is number 32 in Jared Shelton. Shelton has been up and down so far this season. Really depends on the day whether he's lights out or lets a few runners score. So far, he's appeared twice this season, had a start. He has a 12.46 ERA and 4 1/3 innings pitched. He'll have to take on the top of the order for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. It will bring up JT Mix. Mix 1 for 3 today with a single, ground out, and a strikeout. First pitch swinging to right field and out of play. So Mix will start things out swinging and end up being strike number 1. Second pitch will hit the strike zone low and away for strike number 2. And a quick start for Jared Shelton. 2 pitches, 2 strikes off a foul ball and a called strike against JT Mix. Trappers up 6-2 over the visiting Sioux Falls Sunfish. Shelton deals, will miss low for ball one. First ball that Shelton has pitched in this appearance. A native of Fishers, Indiana, playing for the University of the Cumberlands, playing for the Patriots this season. An NAIA school, but one of the best in the NAIA at that. The 1-2 is a fly ball into right field and out of play. So a couple of long foul balls to right field. Opposite field shots for JT Mix, batting from the right-handed batter's box against the righty Shelton. So now a 1-2. Bounces in the dirt. A good block by Reinhardt keeps the runners where they are. Bases remain loaded. All three Sunfish runners, responsibility of Nick McCullum. And all we know about McCullum right now is the number of innings pitched, hits, walks, and strikeouts he has. Runs and earned runs are to be determined based off what happens with JT Mix right here. The 2-2 is a fly ball heading into foul territory and again out of play. Mix trying to frustrate Shelton, fouling off pitch after pitch, keeping the at-bat alive. All 3 or 4 foul balls to this point have been deep fly balls to right field, opposite field for Mix. Check swing. They're going to appeal. Runner goes between second and third. They're going to appeal. He says no swing. The count runs full. So now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Shelton was talking to the catcher Reinhardt about checking over for an appeal, so it was a late appeal call down to the field umpire in Samuel Barrett. Now a payoff pitch, bases loaded with 2 outs. Trappers up by 4. The pitch from Shelton is low and walks in a run. Another walk surrendered by the Pierre Trappers this inning. It's walk number 1 surrendered by Shelton in the first batter that he faces. He's the 3rd Sunfish batter to reach via the walk, and the Sunfish have now scored 2 this inning off walked-in runs. It will bring up Mitch Stroh, who's 1 for 3 today, a single strikeout, and lined out into a double play. Shelton's going to take a second, steps off the mound. Takes a second before stepping back on the rubber. Thompson comes in to score off the walk. Cricket Danielson now at second, or at third, and Declan Beers at second base. Pitch is in there for a called strike number 1 on the first pitch of the at-bat to Mitch Stroh. Shelton, the second pitcher that the Trappers have used today, a swing and a miss. Ball gets away, runner breaks for home, and Dylan Cricket Danielson on the tag is safe. Sunfish now down by just 2 with a 3-run inning of their own. The swing and miss, however, will go down for strike number 2 at a ball that got away. Goes down as a wild pitch against Jared Shelton. Will score Cricket Danielson from third. Declan Beers gets to third, and Mix now at second base. A ground ball to the second baseman. The throw by Skelton over to first is in time. It ends the inning and stops the bleeding for the Pierre Trappers. 4-3, middle of the 6th inning as Mitch Stroh will ground out. We'll be back for the bottom of the 6th inning where the Trappers try to strike back after allowing a 3-run 6th inning to the Sioux Falls Sunfish. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's the old Top Gator here with Gators Pizza, Pasta, Subs in the Northridge Plaza. Gators is known for top quality food, and now you can have our food selections delivered right to your front door using DoorDash. That's right, now you have 4 ways that you can get great Gators food. Dine in, carry out, curbside pickup, and now delivery through DoorDash. Gators has been serving the Pierre area and now Trappers baseball fans since 1987. Gators Pizza, Pasta, Subs in the Northridge Plaza.
Welcome back. Bottom of the 6th inning, the Sioux Falls Sunfish strike for 3 runs in the top of the 6th inning. After Nick McCollum just started falling apart, losing control the longer he went into the ballgame. I mentioned that in his previous appearances, he pitched 5 innings each. Coach May tried to push him a little farther, and at 5 2/3, McCollum simply just started falling apart, couldn't throw strikes. Walked 3 of the next 4 batters after he got 2 outs in the inning, and ended up giving Jared Shelton a bases-loaded situation to deal with. For Sioux Falls, they're going to go back with Kenneth Dutka, returning for his 3rd inning of work. If he gets all the way through this, he would match their starting pitcher in Santangelo's day. The windup and pitch, first pitch swinging for Tyler Skelton, back to center field, reaching up to make the catch is Stroh in center for out number 1, first pitch swinging. So 1 away in the inning of Tyler Skelton flying out sharply to the center fielder. So we'll bring up Eric Mast. Mast, 1 for 2 today, grounded into a double play, singled, and was hit by a pitch, later coming around to score on that at bat. First pitch is taken for strike number 1. A big swing and a miss for strike number 2. So now an 0-2 count. Mast takes a pitch outside for ball number 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bases are empty with 1 away. Sun slowly beginning to set here from Pierre, South Dakota. A ground ball to the first baseman. A foul ball keeps the count at 1-2. So far, now a 1-2 count on Eric Mast. The pitch from Dutka is a big swing and a miss for out number 2 of the inning. Strikeout number 2 of Dutka's day. It will bring up the DH in Colin Adams. Adams 1 for 2 today, a flyout, single, and a walk on his line. Current line score, 4 runs on 5 hits, 1 error for the Sunfish. They've left 7 on base. Pitch misses low for ball 1. For the Pierre Trappers, 6 runs on 9 hits, 1 error. They've left 6 on base. Pitch will go low, but catch the strike zone for strike number 1, evening the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Cardoso in the on-deck circle. Should Adams extend the inning, pitch will go high above the lettering for 2 balls and 1 strike to the 3rd batter of the inning. Dutka winds up and deals a breaking ball into the strike zone, evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So an even count. Pitch misses high and inside. Full count now to the batter in Colin Adams, the DH tonight. Pitch is a high pop fly, heading into foul territory and will roll out of play onto the prairie. So count remains 3-2, a full count to the designated hitter Colin Adams. So Adams trying to extend the inning and start a 2-out rally. The pitch by Dutka is swung on and missed by Adams. He will strike out The second straight punch-out by Kenneth Dutka ends the inning here in the 6th. The Trappers still lead 6-4 through 2/3 of today's ballgame. The Pierre Trappers lead the Sioux Falls Sunfish 6-4. We'll be right back here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube and Mixlr live streams. Dan-O's Marine is a proud partner of Pierre Trappers Baseball. Located at 320 St. Charles Street, Dan-O's provides service on your boat to get you back out on the water in the dog days of summer. Give them a call at 605-224-6612. That's Dan-O's Marine at 605-224-6612. Any water, any problem, Dan-O's Marine. Seventh inning about to get underway here from Hyde Stadium. Before we get underway here in the 7th, a few more sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season we'd like to extend a thank you to, including Right Turn with Christensen Farms, Cowboy Country Store, Gators Pizza, United Way Delta Dental, and Lutheran Memorial Church. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. A beautiful Sunday night here from Pierre, South Dakota. Not a cloud in the sky. And temperatures at around 75 degrees. Humidity 38% and light winds. Right now the flag's not even moving. And a perfect night for baseball here from the capital of the Mount Rushmore State. Jared Shelton returns to the mound for his first full inning of work after sweeping the rug last inning. That included 4 batters for the Sunfish getting on by the walk. They scored 3 runs in the top half of the 6th inning. They find themselves down by just 2. So leading things off will be the 3-4-5 and Brandon Hoffpower and Frazier, with Brandon getting the at-bat to lead things off here in the 7th against Jared Shelton. First pitch by Shelton's a fastball down the center of the plate for strike number 1. Brandon 0 for 2 today, a ground out to first, a walk and a strikeout looking on his line. Pitch will go low and skip to the backstop for ball 1. Evens the count at 1-1. Sunfish trying to work their way back after a 3-run 6th inning last inning. Just a lot of walks by Nick McCullum was the main culprit of that. The 1-1, a big swing and a miss by Jonathan Brandon for strike number 2. Take a look elsewhere in the Expedition League. The 1-2 goes high. Over the head, no attempt to make the catch is Brock Reinhardt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Hastings Sodbusters are all but going to clinch that snapping of a 6-game losing streak. In the top of the 9th, they have a 15-0 lead over the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. A 2-2 count. Shelton lifts the leg and fires. Ball goes low. Count will run full to Jonathan Brandon, the leadoff batter of the 7th inning. Final scores, the Souris Valley Saberdogs beat the Spearfish Sasquatch 8-4, and the Canyon County Spuds snapping their losing streak of 5 games over the Casper Horseheads 10-2. Full count, a swing and a miss, and Jared Shelton will get his first strikeout of the ballgame against Jonathan Brandon. It's Brandon's 2nd time striking out today. It will bring up Zeph Hoffpower. Hoffpower 0 for 2 with a walk back in the 1st. Since then, a couple of flyouts to center field in the 3rd and to right field in the 6th. He'll get an at-bat here in inning number 7. Pitch will miss for ball 1. A high-scoring game in Dickinson as the Fremont Moo extend their winning streak to 10 games now with a 15-11 win over the Badlands Big Sticks. Pitch will miss low to 2-0. So Fremont is the first team in the Expedition League to get to 10 wins. They sit at 10-1 after losing on opening night to the Hastings Sodbusters. The Trappers have to face off against the Moo after a 2-game set in Sioux Falls, so around next weekend. 2-0 pitch will run inside and actually hit the home plate umpire in Tristan Jones. He'll take a walk towards the Trappers' dugout to try to walk it off. Jones is going to take a moment after being hit by the fastball by Jared Shelton. It's a 3-0 count with 1 away in the inning. Zeph Hoffpower, the current batter for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. While the home plate umpire tries to recover, a quick meeting at the mound between the third baseman Cardoso, the catcher Reinhardt, and the pitcher and Jared Shelton. Sunfish were down at one point in this game by 5 runs. They've worked it all the way back to be down by 2. For the Sunfish, tying run is in the on-deck circle. Go-ahead run is in the hole. 3-0 count is a ground ball to the shortstop. Cordes picks it up, fires onto first base in time for out number 1 of the inning. And I've been saying it all season, with a 3-0 count, you expect the red light to be on, and that's exactly why you expect it to be, because it is not always on, as we saw Hoffpower swinging 3-0. So with 2 away in the inning now for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, it will bring up Dane Frazier, who's 1 for 3 today. A single and a pair of strikeouts swinging. This is his first time taking on Jared Shelton, the new pitcher for the Pierre Trappers. First pitch misses low for ball 1. So now a 1-0 count. Shelton fires a foul ball out of play over our heads in the press box and clanging off the top of the press box and concession stand hybrid here at Hyde Stadium. Sky turning from all blue to a purplish orange across the horizon. 1-1. Ball will miss low again and roll to the backstop. 2-1. So now retreating to go receive the baseball is the home plate umpire with a 2-1 count. Frazier steps back in. Again, 1 for 3 today with a pair of punch-outs. Now a fly ball heading into right field. Maybe having a play on it is Jacob Newman. For running out of room, that ball goes out of play. So the foul ball will run the count even to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Frazier in danger of striking out for the 3rd time tonight. Shelton fires and a pitch goes high, puts the count full to 3-2. So now 3 balls and 2 strikes to Dane Frazier. Frazier, the native of Missoula, Montana, playing for the Yakima Valley College Yaks. He's starting to walk to first base before he's rung up by the home plate umpire. A strikeout looking. It's Jared Shelton's 2nd of the game and 2nd of the inning. It's time to stand up and stretch your legs here from Hyde Stadium. The 7th inning stretch with the Pierre Trappers in front. 6-4. We'll be right back here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube and Mixlr live streams.
The Governor's Inn is the exclusive motel partner of the Pierre Trappers. Check out the special Trappers rate for your visit to Pierre and Hyde Stadium this summer. Call 605-224-4200 directly to get the Trappers rate. With free wireless internet, a deluxe breakfast, and an indoor pool and hot tub, there's no reason not to stop at the Governor's Inn.
Seventh inning stretch here from Hyde Stadium wrapping up. Take me out to the ball game. A beautiful performance wrapping up from the children of the capital area. Few more sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season that we would like to extend a thank you to, including Perkins, Central Dakota Eye Care, Bank West, Stella Rosa Wine, and the Paint Store 2. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. The Pierre Trappers lead things off with the 4-5-6 part of the batting order with Caden Cardoso, Nicholas Strong, and Brock Reinhardt. Caden Cardoso 2 for 3 today, a pair of singles. His last at-bat was a flyout back in the 4th inning. So a 2-inning break before another at-bat for Caden Cardoso, the lone international player on this Pierre Trappers roster. First pitch will be taken for a strike. Another pitch by Dutka misses outside. 4-1, evening the count to the leadoff batter of the 7th inning for the Pierre Trappers and Caden Cardoso. 1-1 strike. The 1-1 will miss low and away for ball 2. Cardoso came around to score back in the 3rd. Was stranded at second base back in the 1st off his 2 singles. Kind of broken back into form after slumping. Had a single last night, and now a fly ball into right field. That will drop for a base hit, number 3 of the game for Caden Cardoso. He's batting 3 for 4 here in the 7th inning. And just as I was mentioning, Caden Cardoso breaking out of a small slump that he was in once the Trappers hit the road. He really only succeeded up until this point in the opening series against the Hastings Sodbusters. But what a performance for Caden Cardoso, going 1 for 3 yesterday. He's now 3 for 4 in today's game against the Sioux Falls Sunfish. It will bring up Nicholas Strong, who's 1 for 2 with a walk, single, and ground out to the second baseman. No action going in either bullpen. A couple of pitchers standing near the Trappers bullpen. A fly ball right field. That one is deep. That's going to drop for a base hit. Into left field. Sliding into third safely is Caden Cardoso. And getting into second on the throw will be Nicholas Strong. That one looked for a moment like it had the launch angle, just maybe not the velocity to get out of the ballpark. It will bring up Brock Reinhardt. It will go down as a double for Nicholas Strong, advancing Cardoso to third. Catching mask comes off of Declan Beers after ball number 1. So runners at second and third. A fly ball into center field. That one will be caught by the center fielder Stroh. Coming home is Caden Cardoso. Advancing to third is Nicholas Strong. The Trappers have another run pushed across. It's 7-4 with the Pierre Trappers in front. The Trappers now jumping all over Kenneth Dutka. It will bring up Jacob Newman with a runner at third base and 1 away. It will go down as a sacrifice fly. First pitch will miss for ball number 1. So a sac fly to center field by Brock Reinhardt brings home Cardoso. It also will advance Strong to third. Pitch catches the strike zone, evening the count at 1-1. Still a chance for a second sacrifice fly with just 1 away in the inning and a runner at third base. Newman has kind of been known by this team to be the sacrifice guy. Had a couple of crucial sacrifices on opening day that allowed the Trappers to stay in the ballgame with the Sodbusters and later walk them off in the 11th inning. A lot of sacrifice hits this season for the right fielder Newman. So now 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Trapper wearing 21. Pitch goes high over the letters where it says Trappers on the jersey, evens the count at 2-2. Infield is in for Newman, expecting a suicide squeeze. Foul ball will go high and over and onto the intersection of Capitol and Ree. All 4 infielders playing right on the border between the grass and shallow infield. Outfielders playing normal depth. 2-2. Newman lines it through the infield. It will be a base hit for Jacob Newman, and another run comes in, an RBI single for the Trappers right fielder. The Trappers have once again doubled up the Sioux Falls Sunfish. It's 8-4. It will bring up Bennett Osborne. And the infield in comes back to bite the Sunfish as Newman with an RBI single will drive in Nicholas Strong from third. 2-run score here in the 7th. Still no action in the Sunfish bullpen. Ball goes low on the first pitch of the at-bat, 1-0 to Osborne. Osborne had an RBI double with 2 outs that drove in Jacob Newman back in the 5th inning. Other than that, a couple of groundouts to the left side of the infield, 1 to short, 1 to third. A 1-0 count to Osborne. Osborne swings, and that's a fly ball into the outfield. There to make the catch is Thompson in left field. Retreating back to first base is Jacob Newman. Thompson actually getting his first defensive action of the ballgame. First ball to head to left field tonight. It's been a slow day for Gannon Thompson, the left fielder. 2 away in the inning will bring up Braden Cordes. Cordes 0 for 2 was hit by a pitch and a couple flyouts to the outfield. First pitch taken for strike number 1. Trappers leading the Sioux Falls Sunfish 8-4. If they hold on to this lead, pitch will run inside, a called strike number 2. But if they hold on to this lead, it would be the second win of the series over the Sioux Falls Sunfish of 3 games. They would not only win their first series of the year, but have a chance to sweep the Sunfish tomorrow. Ball will go high on an 0-2 count, 1-0 to Braden Cordes, or 1-2 to Braden Cordes, with 2 outs in the inning. Newman stands at first with 2 away. Time called just as Dutka was setting in the windup. Cordes steps back in with a 1-2 count. Skelton waits in the on-deck circle, hoping he can get a chance to bat. Foul ball back into the press box. Heading back towards right where the camera is. Trying to move it out of the way just in case that it kept carrying back. So now a 1-2 count. A swing and a miss will end the 7th inning, but not before the Trappers put up 2 more of their own. Push their lead back to 4. It's now 8-4 with the Pierre Trappers in front, heading to the 8th inning of play. We'll be right back here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube and Mixlr live streams. Don't go anywhere.
Total Beauty and Speedway Laundry are your homes for everything clothing in the capital area. Since 2010, Total Beauty has offered great customer service and competitive prices. Next door at Speedway Laundry, they have you covered for a fast, convenient way to wash and dry your clothes and other household items, including king-size comforters. Visit them at 111 First Street in Fort Pierre.
We're getting set here for the top of the 8th inning. Coming back out to Let's have a quick talk with the umpire about his outing, Nick McCullum, but Jared Shelton will return to the mound for his second complete inning of work. He's pitched through 1 1/3 so far. Before we get the 8th inning started to see if the Sunfish can claw their way back into this ballgame, a few more sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season we'd like to extend a thank you to, including Oahe Federal Credit Union, Chase Auto and RV, Clausen and Rice, Shane's Pharmacy, and Total Beauty Speedway Laundry. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. So Shelton will return after a 1-2-3 inning in the top half of the 7th to take on the 6-7-8 portion of the Sioux Falls Sunfish lineup, including Jesus Licone, Gannon Thompson, and Dylan Cricket Danielson. Jesus Licone leads things off here in the top of the 8th inning. Licone 0 for 2 today. A ground out fielder's choice and a walk. On that walk later came around to score for the Sunfish. First pitch by Shelton will run in, and Nick Licone, a hit by pitch, will put a runner on to begin the 8th inning. It will bring up Gannon Thompson. Thompson 1 for 3 today. He's struck out 2 times, both swinging. Singled in the 6th inning, later came around to score, pushed in by a walk on to JT Mix. So Thompson gets the at-bat with Licone standing at first base, nobody out, top 8. First pitch by Shelton runs inside for strike number 1. So now an 0-1 count. Trappers leading 8-4. 4 runs on 5 hits in air for the Sunfish. 8 runs on 12 hits in air for the Trappers. Runner goes high. Throw down to second base. It gets away from Tyler Skelton. Thinking about breaking for third is Jesus Licone, but he'll settle for a stolen base getting to second. So now a runner in scoring position for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, still down by 4 to the Pierre Trappers. Jared Shelton in his second complete inning of work, and now action going in both bullpens. Check swing, ball low and away. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Thompson struck out 3 times the last time he faced the Trappers. Pitch runs high and inside, moving his face out of the way. 3 balls and 1 strike. For the Trappers, there is a pitcher warming up. It looks to be Noah Borwedge. Borwedge had a 1-2-3 inning and 1 inning of work in Sioux Falls 2 nights ago. Foul ball back into the screen will put the count full to 3-2 to Gannon Thompson. The Sioux Falls Sunfish 4, the Pierre Trappers 8. Here, top 8 from Hyde Stadium in Game 2 of this 3-game set. Jared Shelton pitch high at the letters for a called strike number 3. Walking back defeated with his 3rd strikeout of the game on his line is Gannon Thompson. It's the 3rd punch-out that Shelton has had today, and it's out number 1 here in the 8th inning. He will bring up the first baseman, Dylan Cricket Danielson, who is still 0 for 0 tonight with 3 walks on his line. Cricket Danielson, a nice break for him after just frankly a lot of strikeouts on his line. Struck out 4 times against Wheat City, and then 2 nights ago against the Sioux Falls, against the Pierre Trappers, struck out twice. So 6 strikeouts in 2 games. Pitch will go high in a 2-0 count. And it's almost like an odd paradox as the second Cricket Danielson was announced here at Hyde Stadium as the beer batter. No pitcher can throw strikes to him. He's walked all 3 plate appearances. The 2-0, and now a swing into center field. There to make the play is Mast, who reaches up, fires. No tag from the runner at second base. So now 2 away in the inning as Cricket Danielson finally puts an official at-bat on his line. So the fly out to center goes for out number 2 of the inning, and it will bring up the 9-hole batter in Declan Beers. Beers 1 for 1 today with a couple of walks and a single. Beers was the final batter that starting pitcher for the Trappers, Nick McCullum, had to face. He was walk number 8 of the day for the Trappers. Pitch will go low for ball number 1. For Jared Shelton, after coming in for relief of Nick McCullum, walked 1 batter, and that was the first batter he faced in JT Mix back in the 6th inning. Since then, it's been all lights out despite a hit by pitch to Jesus Licon, who stands at second base. Pitch will go high for ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs, top of the 8th inning. The Pierre Trappers ahead of the Sioux Falls Sunfish 8-4 here from Hyde Stadium. Elsewhere in the Expedition League, didn't get to say this one in our last update, the Mining City Tommyknockers ahead of the Western Nebraska Pioneers 11-4 in the 9th inning. 2-0 pitch, thought about going around but held up, but it will be a called strike anyway to Declan Beers. Beers wearing number 3 this season for Sioux Falls. In their inaugural season as an expansion team, ground ball up the middle to Tyler Skelton, fires onto first, and a 4-3 groundout will end the inning. And after a hit by pitch, 3 come up, 3 go down, 4 total batters bat in the inning for Sioux Falls. The Trappers hope that this next inning will be the final time they have to grab the bats. Bottom of the 8th inning on tap here from Hyde Stadium when we return here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube and Mixler live streams.
You don't need an illness to need a doctor. You don't need to feel sick to feel better. You don't need to be unwell to get well. What you do need is a primary care provider at Sanford Health. Better healthcare starts with regular wellness visits and a familiar face who knows you, your concerns, and your goals. We're here before you need us. We're here when you need us. We're here after you need us. We're here for you. Find your primary care provider at sanfordhealth.org today.
Welcome back. Jacob Glovich coming into pitch for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. We'll get you caught up on everything about Glovich in just a moment, but before that, a few more sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season we would like to extend a thank you towards, including Sanford Health, Edward Jones, Mark Ullman, Envirotech, Bob's Lounge, and Brackey Financial. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. New pitcher for the Sioux Falls Sunfish is Sioux Falls native in Jacob Glovich, a Dakota Wesleyan Tiger in the regular collegiate season, just finished up his freshman season. The right-handed pitcher is making only his 2nd appearance. He appeared on June 1st against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. Got a no decision in 3 innings of work, allowed 5 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned. Walked 1, struck out 1. He enters today's game with a 12 even ERA. So the 3rd pitcher for the Sioux Falls Sunfish enters here in the 8th inning in what the Trappers hope is the final inning that they have to grab a bat. So bottom of the 8th, the top of the order due up. Tyler Skelton, first pitch swinging, will foul one back into the screen. No balls and 1 strike. Every game in the Expedition League has gone final except for this one. Glovich winds up and deals, and a swing, high pop fly, foul territory out of play. So the final scores one more time from around the Expedition League. The Hastings Sodbusters snap their 6-game losing streak over the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks, 15-0. The Canyon County Spuds snap their 5-game losing streak, defeating the Casper Horseheads 10-2. The Mining City Tommyknockers stay atop the Lewis Division with an 11-4 win over the Western Nebraska Pioneers. Ball will go low. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tyler Skelton. The Fremont Moo extend their winning streak to 10 games after losing on opening night. They are now 10-1 atop the Clark Division, in which the Sioux Falls Sunfish and the Pierre Trappers both reside. They beat the Badlands Big Sticks 15-11. Ball over the pitcher's head, picked up by the second baseman. Beating out the throw is Tyler Skelton. So a leadoff base hit for Skelton. That's his 3rd of the ballgame. He's now 3 for 5 on the day. It will bring up Eric Mast. Mast is 1 for 3 with a single, grounded into a double play and struck out swinging. Final score to announce here is the Souris Valley Saberdogs defeat the Spearfish Sasquatch 8-4. So Souris Valley and Mining City tied atop the Lewis Division with both winning tonight over their respective opponents. First pitch to Mast is fouled back into the screen for strike number 1. The Sasquatch with a loss tonight and a Fremont win means the second place team in the division is now 2.5 games back on the division leader. And with just 10 games into the season, 11 for Fremont, that is a huge lead for the reigning Expedition League champions. Pickoff attempt to first base, but sliding in safely is Tyler Skelton. So no balls and 1 strike. Skelton takes off for second base, a hit and run, fly ball to right field. There to make the catch is the right fielder in Hoffpower, retreating back to first. The tag in time as Tyler Skelton will be thrown out. It was a hit and run that went in the wrong direction for the Pierre Trappers. It will end up being a double play here in the 8th inning. So he took off for second base. Mast flies out to right, and Skelton unable to get back in time. It will bring up Colin Adams. Adams 1 for 3 today, singled, flew out, and struck out. First pitch taken low for ball number 1. Adams back in the 3rd, his single. He later came around to score that inning. Pitch will go high for ball 2. In fact, of the 8 Trapper runs, 7 Trappers have come across home safely. The only 2 exceptions, Brock Reinhardt and Bennett Osborne. The lone Trapper to cross home twice is Caden Cardoso. A big swing and a miss. First strike number 1, 2 balls and 1 strike. Glovich, the Sioux Falls native, pitching for Sioux Falls this season. Pitch will go low for ball number 3. Current line score, 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. They've left 8 runners on base tonight. For the Pierre Trappers, 8 runs on 13 hits, 1 error. Here comes the 3-1 check swing. No swing by Colin Adams, and he'll draw a 2-out walk. So the first walk surrendered by Glovich. And it will bring up Caden Cardoso, who's 3 for 4 today. Trying to have a 4-hit night. And if my memory serves me correct, I don't believe a Pierre Trapper has had a 4-hit night to this point in the season. So Cardoso stands in to take on Jacob Glovich. Pitch will run outside for ball number 1. Cardoso, the native of Abbotsford, British Columbia. Breaking ball will fall into the strike zone to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Cardoso wearing number 33 this season for the Pierre Trappers. A Minot State Beaver in the regular season, as well as his teammate pitcher Tyler Lubin. So now a 1-1 count. Cardoso holds off on a pitch outside. Caden runs ahead in the count, 2-1. Cardoso, a dual threat player, has also come into pitch twice this season for the Trappers. His last pitching appearance, pickoff attempt back to first base, back in safely, is Colin Adams. His last appearance was in Game 1 against Western Nebraska right here at Hyde Stadium, so it's been a little while since Cardoso has seen the pitcher's mound. 2-1, 2 away in the 8th inning. Holds back on a called strike number 2. So now 2 balls, 2 strikes to the third baseman tonight for the Pierre Trappers, Caden Cardoso, who is 3 for 4 today with 3 singles and a fly out to center. Trappers leading 8-4. A swing and a miss as Cardoso goes down on strikes to end the Trappers' half of the 8th inning. We'll head to the 9th, where the Sioux Falls Sunfish will have one more chance to try to score 4 runs to at least force another half inning where the Trappers have to bat. We'll be back for the exciting conclusion to this ball game here from Hyde Stadium. Heading to the 9th inning, it's the Trappers 8 and the Sunfish 4. We'll be right back here on the Pierre Trappers YouTube and Mixlr live streams.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories with family, friends, and your community is just a way of life. Yes, in times like these, it's good to be home. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting what's important in life.
Welcome back. 9th inning about to get underway. The Trappers attempting to go with only 2 pitchers tonight, with Nick McCullum being relieved for by Jared Shelton in the 6th inning. Shelton pitched through 2 1/3. He returns for his 3rd full inning of work. Before we get started, a few more sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season we'd like to extend a thank you to, including Zesto, Graham Tire, The Governor's Inn, Gentleman's Barber Shop, Foster's Rentals, Cattleman's Club, Black Hills Federal Credit Union, May Adam, Slumberland, The Field House, Wheelhouse Plumbing, Guadalajara, Hero Gym, Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota, First United Methodist Church, and First Dakota National Bank. Thank you to all of our sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. One more forgot to mention is Pierre Family Dental. Thank you for continuing to be sponsors of the 2021 Pierre Trappers baseball season. Leading things off is the top of the order to take on Jared Shelton, JT Mix. First pitch swinging to the second baseman, Skelton. Skelton picks it up, fires onto first. Out number 1, and the Pierre Trappers are 2 outs away from their first series win of the season. Mitch Stroh, the center fielder, will grab a bat and hit second this inning. He is 1 for 4 today. In order, he singled in the 1st inning, struck out swinging in the 3rd, lined into a double play in the 5th, and grounded out to second in the 6th. A 2-inning break before his next at-bat here in the 9th. First pitch swinging fly ball, or pop fly into the middle infield. Cardoso on the pitcher's mound, flips his glove out to make the catch. A beautiful pop out to Caden Cardoso. And now the Pierre Trappers 1 out away from the series win over the Sioux Falls Sunfish. It will be the shortstop in Jonathan Brandon, who's 0 for 3 today. Those who remained here at Hyde Stadium through the duration of this ball game, clapping their hands with the Trappers and out away. Jonathan Brandon takes the at-bat. The first pitch to swing back into the screen for strike number 1. If the Trappers get the out here, Wynn would be in line for starting pitcher Nick McCullum. Losing pitcher would be the starting pitcher for Sioux Falls in Santangelo. Pitch goes back in the Pierre Trappers. A strike away the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Down to their final strike, down by 4 here from Hyde Stadium. Shelton steps on the mound. Play ball sign is given from Jared Shelton to Jonathan Brandon. An 0-2 count with 2 outs. Trappers lead 8-4, top 9, 2 away. Shelton steps on the rubber. Brandon puts the bat over his shoulders. Brandon kicks the leg high, fires, and it's high and inside. Brandon ducks out of the way for ball number 1. The entire Sioux Falls lineup lined up on the fence of the dugout. The 1-2 count. Shelton winds up, pitches, strike number 3, a foul tip into the glove. Strikeout number 4 for Jared Shelton, and the Pierre Trappers have won their first series of the season with the first 2 games taken over the Sioux Falls Sunfish. It's a 2-game winning streak for the Pierre Trappers, and they'll look to break out the brooms tomorrow as they will look to sweep the Sioux Falls Sunfish in this 3-game set here from Hyde Stadium. The Pierre Trappers win their 2nd in a row by a final score of 8-4. Winning pitcher in today's ballgame will be the starting pitcher for the Pierre Trappers in Nick McCullum. McCullum pitched 5 2/3 of an innings in his 3rd appearance for the Pierre Trappers. Will finally get a decision, and it's the one he wanted. A 1-0 record for Nick McCullum as the Pierre Trappers advance to 4-5 on the season, a win away from being back at 500 on the season. For Santangelo, the losing pitcher, he gets his first decision as well. Unfortunately for him, it is in the wrong column. He falls to 0-1 on the season with the run differential being at 4 heading into the 9th inning, and as well as the fact Jared Shelton pitching all the way from the 6th inning on. It is not a save. Nobody will be credited with the save tonight from Hyde Stadium. Final line score, 4 runs on 5 hits, 1 error for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. They will leave 8 runners on base tonight. For the Pierre Trappers, they scored 8 runs on 13 total hits, out hitting the Sunfish by 8. They also had an error. Errors were even at 1 apiece tonight. Other than leaving the bases loaded in the 1st inning, the Trappers had a disciplined night with runners left on base. They will also leave 8 runners on base tonight. Game finish time will go down as 9:54 p.m. So total game time will go down as 2 hours and 49 minutes. Another quick game, down 12 minutes, or down 8 minutes from where it was yesterday. Final game time yesterday was 2:57. Tonight's game time, 9 hours and 49 minutes. So one more time, wrapping everything up here on the Pierre Trappers post-game show. Player of the game for the Pierre Trappers will go to Caden Cardoso, who went 3 for 5 today, scoring a couple runs for the Pierre Trappers. But you can't forget about the pitching performance by Nick McCullum, going nearly 6 innings with 7 strikeouts and holding the Sunfish at bay, while the Trappers were able to work their magic in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings. Taking a look one more time at the line score, the Sioux Falls Sunfish scoring 1 run in the third, 3 runs in the 6th inning. That's all they had doing in today's ball game. The Pierre Trappers scored 1 in the first, 3 in the third, 1 in the 4th and 5th, and 2 in the 7th. Final line scores overall, the Sioux Falls Sunfish, 4 runs on 5 hits, 1 error, 8 runners left on base. Starting pitcher Angelo Santangelo will get the loss. He falls to 0-1 on the year. For the Pierre Trappers, 8 runs on 13 hits, 1 error. They left 8 runners on base. Starting pitcher Nick McCullum gets the win. He advances to 1-0 on the season. Game time, 2 hours and 49 minutes. Same 2 teams return tomorrow night from Hyde Stadium as the Pierre Trappers look to sweep the Sioux Falls Sunfish here from Hyde Stadium. For everyone that makes these broadcasts possible, I'm Tyler Katz. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to stick around and watch on our YouTube channel, as coming up in around 20 to 30 minutes, post-game interviews with the player of the game and the 2 coaches for the Pierre Trappers. We thank you so much for watching. Final score one more time.